welcome back everyone, welcome back, happy holidays, merry Christmas, bienvenidos, bienvenidos, welcome to something a little bit different. It's been a while, but welcome to the StarCraft Evolution League number 17. The new season is upon us, and again, happy holidays. It is here, the 27th year of December. We're nearing New Year's already, and I hope you're ready for some more StarCraft. You know what, we may have the holidays, people might be taking a bit of a break, so are we in a sense. We have been a little bit leaner when it comes to our broadcast, but StarCraft still continues, and we still have a daily content ready for you. Let's go, baby, let's go. But shout out to all those in the chat as well. Let's stay eyes down, subscribing for 36 months, 3 years of support, baby. Thank you so much for the support. Likewise, shout out to Getcha for getting the first Quacker. Shout out to Mr. Mintler. We have Avex in the chats, of course, Avex, map maker extraordinaire, and we also have Zelensvard subscribing with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much for all the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the emotes, and hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy it, baby. Oh, as we are here in StarCraft Evolution League, for those that are maybe a little bit unaware, for those that are maybe a little bit newer to the channel and haven't been watching for the past over a year at this point, but StarCraft Evolution is a mod in SC2. It is a mod that has been slowly gaining traction over the past 2 years, of play. It is a mod that does put together StarCraft 2 versus Brood War. It is not a carbon copy of Brood War. I think initially it was, but over time, over the past 2 years, we have had very consistent patches to adjust numbers, to balance, of course, both game modes. From my understanding, I believe there's still a big balance patch in the works. The reasoning for this is because, of course, we just got a patch with SE2, right? We just got a StarCraft 2 patch with the maps, with just changing a lot of the races, changing a lot of the units, changing a new map pool as well. And I believe StarCraft Evolution is now working on a patch, on a patch for the mod, to try to adjust and try to rectify any kind of issues that may be taking place. And there are tournaments like this to kind of showcase like any major issues or anything of that nature, bearing in mind that the new season has begun and the StarCraft Evolution Championship is going to be taking place in the first half of next year in 2026. Oh boy, so SC Evo does continue. I will say that again, it has been gaining traction. This mod has been gaining traction over time, and most recently, thanks to the Chijik tournament, thanks to the Murloc King event, which was now a couple of months ago, some more players were kind of indoctrinated into SC Evo. A lot of the Koreans have been getting involved. Players like Rogue is more of a recent addition, Cure relatively recent, Solar relatively recent as well. So it's been really cool to see players like Solar, like Cure, like Rogue kind of dip their toes in and actually get interested, actually enjoy the mod and play a little bit further. It's one of those things where unfortunately it has been captivating a lot of the Koreans, but less so the Europeans. Like, we have some players from the CIS region specifically that have been enjoying the game, but outside of that we haven't really had too much interest from the greater European scene. Like, we have had players like Geralt and Skillus. They come to mind as probably some of the more prominent European players, to be honest, like Geralt, Skillus, like Zardiant, Rake, for example. But again, the Europeans that can be in SC Evo are few and far between, and it's mainly Koreans. And we'll see if that changes in the near future. This is also where SC Evo events like the StarCraft Evolution Championship with their invites, I think would actually be they would actually benefit from inviting Europeans more than Koreans, just because it's a way to force them to play and maybe even have them enjoy it. It was a couple of days ago actually where Lambo he actually made a video talking about his run in the Murloc King Chijik event, and he was very transparent about the fact that he had no idea what SC Evo was. He had no expectations, but he actually got third place. He got third place in that tournament, and he was like, mate, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I didn't know what the races were. Like, I was just freestyling, and hey, I got third place. and he at least he expressed that he enjoyed the game, that he enjoyed the mod for what it was. Does this mean that he will spend more time in the mod? Well, now is the time. What I mean by that, this time last year we saw SC Evo rise in popularity. We also saw a lot of 2v2 tournaments and also 3v3s and 4v4s. Those events did rise in popularity as well. Why is that? We're in the off season, right? We're in the off season of EWC, so during the off season this is the best time for players to start to play other game modes, and they do, right? Whether it's team games, whether it's other mods like StarCraft Evolution, now is the time before we get back into the season of EWC, assuming of course that we do have the Esports World Cup for StarCraft next year. I think the assumption is that that is going to be the case. Do know there's still one game to be announced and confirmed for EWC, but regardless, like, now would be the time where players are kind of stretching their wings and willing to play other game modes. For now though, we are jumping into the quarterfinals. Just watch that Lambo video. It's pretty I've been pretty busy with my own work. Yeah, fair enough. A lot more people getting involved. Well, I mean, that's why I've been expecting this for a while. Lambo, he was an invite, right? He was an invite for the tournament. He would not have played the game if he was not invited for the Chijik event. So I do think that for the StarCraft Evolution Championship, it would benefit Hyper One to almost solely invite Europeans, just to kind of like, you know, just to spread the word, and once more Europeans get involved, then others will follow suit. I think at this point, like, the Korean scene is tapped out in the sense that, like, I mean, like, sure, you can invite like Gumiho, you can invite who am I thinking of, like Bonnie, for example. Like, there are a couple of Koreans that haven't really, or Maru, I guess, that haven't really played StarCraft Evolution that you can try to like drag in with invites, but I feel like it would benefit more to try to branch out into another region and expand the player base that way. But at the same time, it depends kind of what he wants, right? Like, I would say that would benefit the mod when it comes to outreach, when it comes to reaching more names, reaching more players, and expanding the brand, or just getting more word out there. But if his interest is like, I just want, like, you know, the best Koreans to play, and he invites like Amaru, like Hero, stuff like that, then, you know, it depends what the goal is, right? Depends what the goal would be. But regardless, we're getting into our bi-weekly tournament. StarCraft Evolution League is now a semi-regular event. Again, was on a bit of a hiatus, especially during the off-season, but now we are back. We're jumping to the quarterfinals. It is going to be a PvT between Classic and Milky Cow. Here we go. We just spoke about some of the Europeans that do compete in this, and I did mention that the CIS region has been the region that has kind of stepped in and embraced SEVO the most, to the point where they run their own tournaments. Like, I said this before, but there are a lot of team game tournaments, a lot of 2v2 show matches, a lot of 2v2 events in StarCraft Evolution, but solely on the CIS region side of things. I don't think we've had many Korean or just Open Cup 2v2 tournaments, even though the game isn't really balanced to 2v2. Like, there's been a lot of team games, for example, a lot of 1v1s. It's been really cool to see them kind of embrace StarCraft Evolution the way that they have, and now we're jumping into it. Game 1 is going to be on Title Citadel. Let's go. Now, getting into this, I will say that Classic, in my mind, is currently the best player in StarCraft Evolution, but at the same time, I also understand that it's been a while, right? Like, we have had a bit of a break, we have had a bit of a lull when it comes to StarCraft Evolution tournaments, when it comes to taking a break from StarCraft Evolution Masters, for example, Code A, Code S. So we'll see how Classic can handle himself here, jumping back into SC Evo. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Team Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself. It is Milky Cow. Here we go. You guys are jumping into our TVP. Bearing in mind, it's going to be StarCraft 2 Protoss up against Brood War Terran. It's Christmas time. Look at this. And thanks to the holidays, we do have some lovely Santa hats here on our workers. Oh, do love to see it. Again, this is something that they do every now and then. I think it's for the StarCraft anniversary where they have party hats. They have party hats, and I think they may even explode in confetti, right? Question mark. But they at least have party hats. Here for the holidays. The Santa hats. Let's go. Let's go. Fun fact, we casted a show match yesterday. There weren't any Santa hats, right? Like, I don't think there were any Santa hats in yesterday's tournament. Happy holidays. For now, we are going to be going CC first out of Milky Cow, going CC first into a later Rax. We do see Classic instantly harassing as best he can, being an annoyance here on the low ground. Did scout the greedier build. Speaking of, we do have a gate expand out of Classic, and typically Classic does enjoy being the aggressor early on. I mean, I say early on, for those that are maybe unfamiliar with the meta of StarCraft Evolution, aggression is the name of the game. It's a little bit unfortunate, but at least for the past couple of months, if not the past year, yeah, maybe past year, we have had shorter games, and longer macro games have been a little bit rarer, unfortunately. I think I would say that in TBT we've seen longer games the most, if my memory serves correctly, but we'll see as the meta shifts. And again, we're still expecting like a new patch on the horizon as well, but often we do have more aggressive games. Here we go. For now, again, we're on Title Citadel. I actually didn't quite check the new map pool. True. One of my favorite parts about StarCraft Evolution is that we do feature some older Brood War maps that are ported over. It's always great to see that whenever we see some of those older maps, like I almost said near Violet Square. God, it's been so long. Not Near Humanity. What's the, the island map? That one though. Jesus. Hold on, now it's bothering me. Now I have to double check. StarCraft Evolution League number 3. God, it's near something. Number 5. Not Paradox. Paradox is the other great one. Number 9. Neo Isles of Siren. There we go. Jesus. It's been too long, Batty. Bring it back. Neo Isles of Siren. For the time being, though, it is going to be mech. We do have the initial academy here, straight into the armory, into our additional factories. So it is going to be mech out of Milky Cow, getting to his more vulture-esque composition to begin with. Meanwhile, back at home, Classic opening up Stargate. Stargate opening into the Oracle. The Oracle's going to be moving out to scout, to harass, and to get vision on what the Terran is up to confirm the mech. Now distracted by the Vulture. Vulture is going to be sniped. Oracle moves out. As we are going to be opening up Goliath. Okay, true, makes sense. I believe the Goliath is locked behind the armory, so armory into Goliath does make sense as an opener to defend against said Oracle. The Stargate was scattered earlier as Oracle makes its way in. Goliath is still on the way and about to pop out in a couple of seconds. Turret is halfway done as well, but SCVs are going to go down, getting into 2 SCVs. Gasu gets 3. Yeah, 3 SCV kills. The Oracle does pull out. And so far, nice damage. 3 SCVs alongside the Vulture and a full scout of the main. Now Classic is aware of the mech. He's aware of the mech, containing his opponent, getting his own 3rd. Building up his economy. Thermi Express, I remember this being a case when I was around. For EU, time zone was always an issue. Yeah, Euthermal. I know he very much so is very fond of StarCraft Evolution, for sure. Whether he runs an event in the future, hard to say. But I think he'd be willing to. I know that right now his focuses are currently on 2v2s. For those who don't know, the new 2v2 League is going to be starting up in January, next month. Yes, Classic for now just looking to contain his opponent. Blink is not yet done, but is going to be waiting out here just to catch any kind of attempted move out. We do see Milky Cow still taking up in a lot of different directions. We have siege mode being done now to set up and defend. Spider mines are on the way. We have our initial Goliaths just to maintain, just to defend against the Oracles, but oh, brutal supply block. And Milky Cow, he's just going to be stuck here at home, and Classic rushing into the gold. This is the scariest thing about Title Citadel in TVP. This is applicable to SC2 and applicable to SC Evo, is that if the Protoss player is able to gain map control on this map, bam, they have the advantage of having a gold base as well. So it's a boosted kind of map control, boosted economy for the Protoss player, or for the player that does have that map control. Diving into the main base, picks up the tank, and tank goes down. Army's out of position, going for the stasis traps. Oh my god! Ooh, stasis goes off. No major connection, but again, the Stalkers, they still trade well. And remember, we can afford these trades. Remember, the gold base is on the way. Picking up 4 SCVs. Ooh. Massive shot here towards the end. And Milky, how he is holding, but he's trading on 2 bases. Meanwhile, that gold is almost done. And then Classic can get into his massive gateway composition, his mass swarm toss. Remember, no gases here at the 3rd base. We shouldn't see any gases at the 4th base either. Just purely mineral income from mass charge lots. Which is what you want against mech. But if you remember, this was the same criticism that we had about Title Citadel that we also had about Missing You Today. Was just the goal base advantage. I'm Missing You Today was more extreme because there were 2 goal bases. True. Like those was even more extreme. As Milky Cow, he's going to be able to break out. Does claim his 3rd. Goal base is now getting saturated. As Classic does get a 5th. You're not getting up to 5 bases. Ay. The warpins are commencing, and it's going to be a tough hold. Now, SimCity is going to be a big factor here. I love how spread eagle this eBay is, by the way. It's ay. The floating eBays, let's go. He's trying to wall up, trying to reduce surface area, trying to create choke points here for spider mines and for the tanks. Oh, the tanks are too far back, though. Tanks are out of range. Prism into the main. No turrets. Yeah, no turrets. No defensive ring. Zal's hit the mineral line. And Milky, he reacts with his vultures and with the Goliaths. Yeah, he reacts with everything. Tanks, they hold their own. It's also major damage. And Zal's, can they get on top of the tanks? They can. They're going to be able to get 2, 3 tanks going down. Ay. Massive pickoffs, down to 2 tanks left. Zal warping into the main, catching more reinforcements, getting another tank. Another tank goes down. And another 2 more tanks falling. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. Ooh, the warping is going to be denied. Nice denial. Zelsa wreaking havoc, getting 10 SCVs, picking up a Goliath. Warpins are going to be delayed. This is going to give Milky Cow some time, but again, the tank count is so low. Only 2 tanks. Meanwhile, we have a 7th base. We have a 7th Nexus on the way. And again, Milky Cow cannot do anything about it. Like, he cannot move out, he cannot break out, he's stuck at home. Typically in StarCraft 2, the Bio-Terran player could go for drop play, could go for drops, force recalls, force back some warpins. But here in StarCraft Evolution, while going into mech, this is a very immobile composition. You could try to go for vulture run-bys and vulture counterattacks, but to do so, you initially need a secure defensive position with tanks, and the tank count has been stifled time and time again. Speaking of vulture run-bys, finally we do have a breakout. Vultures, they try to make their way out, but it feels too late. Only 2 vultures. It does drag the entire army back home. This does give Milky Cow some breathing room, so he has some time to recover. He's building up his tanks up to 6. Getting him to 6 tanks. Thankfully, the majority of the wall is still up and running. Ooh, but Classic, he can avoid the wall. Again, here on Title, there are these rocks that you can open up. Oh. Shatters the lone vulture. Do you have a minefield? But this still is a very open area. Classic is maxed. Mothership is on the way. Minefield is going to buy time for the army to rotate. Lights are rotating over. So far, decent tank connections. Classic is about to give it the still a lot of spider mines though. He's baiting them out. Ooh, yeah, one does connect. Massive tank shots. Oh my god. Yeah, tanks, they just break through that zealot line. Are there enough zealots left? He's getting on top of the tanks, just barely, and he will clean up every single tank. Yeah, there is enough. Charge, I'll say, just annihilate those tanks. Again, we had a decent line of defense here. We had some decent tank shots and some spider mines, but it was still not enough. And remember, we have the instant remax. Ooh, there's no anti-air. Yeah, no anti-air. Free damage on the tanks. GG gets called, and Classic takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Classic does take a lead. And again, I will say that the outcome and how this game did turn out and pan out was more unique to Title Citadel. Again, because of the extra goal base that there is on this map, it does mean that whoever has map control, Classic in this sense, does have an even greater economic advantage and has even more to work with as a result, with faster expansions and with more and more zealots as well. So this is one of the more brutal maps to play a TVP on, and Classic does come out with a win. GG. GG, well played. Classic takes the lead, and now it's going to be on Milky Cow to determine, does he commit to Brood War or does he switch back to SE2? Here we go. And we have the answer. It looks like he's switching to StarCraft 2. Just catching up with the chat. The little hat's eye is beautiful. I mean, nudge for you. I mean, one day, if the Ducklings, if we grow a little bit more, then maybe. But I'm sure, as you know, currently we're tapped out when it comes to tournaments and when it comes to our casting, to the point where we have kind of dialed it back. But we don't really have room for another tournament, unfortunately. We have thought about bringing together like another event, like bringing back Grand Platypus Open or something like that, but yeah, Bappy, we're tapped out, Bappy, we're tapped out. We have too much content. But here we go, we're jumping into our next game. It's again number 2 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Protoss Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is a Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran player himself. It is Milky Cow. Let's go. As once again, Milky are going for a double gas opener. This time, of course, Milky are playing StarCraft 2, the StarCraft 2 Terran. Meanwhile, Classic playing Brood War Protoss. Okay. Now, I did mention before that Classic is going to be the favorite player to win the entire tournament. He won the most recent Merlo King Strategic event, and again, like Classic, he has been looking very dominant as of late in SE Evo. I say that we have had some newcomers and some new challengers like Solar. Like Solar has surprisingly been playing quite a lot of StarCraft Evolution. I would say Creator, he had a brief stint where he was also playing a decent amount of SE Evo, but I haven't seen Creator play in the last 2 SELs, I think. I don't think Creator was a part of this event. But it does feel like Creator is also interested. So we might see more of him in the near future. Oh my god. As we're going for a 1 base all-in. Double gas into double factory. No CC whatsoever. We have the Marine here to deny the scout, and Milky Cow, he's going to double down. We may pull the boys alongside this. We'll see how committed Milky Cow is going to be. We do have the Tech Lab into an add-on swap into most likely early Cyclone production for Mass Cyclone. Let's go. The Mass Cyclone on the way. Yo, shout out to Sinisto in the chat. Nice Santa hats. Yes, yes. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Beautiful, beautiful. The Santa hats. Ah. Amazing. But here come the add-on swaps again. A mass Cyclone is amassing as we speak. Classic going to be opening up a Dragoon. Do have Dragoon range on the way. This all-in begs to be Brood War Storm. Unfortunately, Storm isn't going to be a factor when it comes to the all-in. It's going to be hitting too soon. But we'll see if Classic sets... I mean, he already has a safety shield battery. True. Battery is up. And Milky Cow is expanding. Never mind. 400 minerals. Yeah, 400 minerals. He is going to be expanding. A very late expansion, though. And even though this, I guess, technically isn't an all-in, it is hyper-aggressive. And these Cyclones have to pay for themselves. They have to pay for themselves. Cyclones are moving out as we speak, and if these fails to get damage done, it will elicit a counterattack, and the late expansion might even be denied. So there's a lot of pressure here on Milky Cow. Let's go. He's moving out. We have a wall of Dragoons waiting for him. Dragoon range is almost done. Shield battery is ready, and he can lock onto one Dragoon. Oh, gets one. Nice control. Classic. He breaks the lock on. He moves out. He's now aware of the mech. Getting one Dragoon. Yeah, they do trade. One Dragoon for one Cyclone. I say that second Cyclone almost goes down. But the scary thing here is that this was a better trade for Classic. At Classic, he's amassing more and more Dragoons. To be fair, we have more Cyclones on the way. Mass Cyclone. Macful accelerators in production. And Classic is going to be supporting with Reavers. So this is just a pretty standard kind of setup here from Classic. Getting into Reaver production. For a moment, I thought the SUV was carrying the hat. So festive, Pappy, so festive. Now, in my mind, I feel like against Mass Cyclone, you still want to work towards Zealot legs. We'll see. We'll see how Dragoons can hold their own against a massive amount of Cyclones. Here come the lock-ons. This time it will not be broken, and these Dragoons, they can go down. And they will. Yeah, they will go down. They're losing 1, 2, 3 Dragoons. But we do see Classic still trying to just brute force it. Yeah, trying to brute force the issue. He does break through the Cyclones. There's 2 Cyclones left. So down to 1 Cyclone. There's 1 tank. And I started stepping on from the Dragoons. Oh my god, the final Cyclone falls. And Milky Cow barely does defend, but this was a costly defense. Remember, the entire game was all about building up that Cyclone count to maintain map control. That has been stripped away. Right, that's been stripped away. The goal of the Cyclones, I mean, he has failed in said goal. The racks burned down. He has to rebuild the racks to build more factories. No. That's the risk you take when it comes to floating the racks over. And now here comes the follow-up. Here comes the Reaver drop. Reaver's coming in. Making our way into the mineral line. Shuttle speed about to finish up. There's Gravitic Drive. And the Reaver drops are coming. How well can Milky Cow split? Can he split, Pappy? Can he split? Oh, drop comes in. Ooh, splits are not there. Thankfully, only 2 SUV. Oh no, they're stacking. Getting up to 5. Oh my god. Okay, Cyclone can tank a shot. Can tank 1 at least. Jesus, the lock on. That's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, the Scarab shots are insane. Takes down all the Cyclones. Who wins? 2 Cyclones or a Reaver? The Reaver, Pappy. Oh my god. It's crazy. Yeah, speaking of, he's gonna kill another Cyclone. No. Another Cyclone goes down. GG gets called. And a Classic, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played, Classic. He will claim the series. He will take it. Again, Milky Cow attempting to play mech both with Brood War and with StarCraft 2. And I will say that there was potential going Mass Cyclone. Unfortunately, he bled out a lot of Cyclones early on, and he was unable to maintain map control. Again, the purpose of going for those Cyclones is to have map control, is to maraude around, is to try to contain and trade with your opponents. But we saw, if not even trade, a greater trade for Classic, where he was able to just bully those Cyclones with the Dragoons The extra range and the aggressive micro did, of course, assist Classic with that, breaking through breaking through the cyclones, getting on top of the tanks, and in the end was able to just pull Milky Cow apart. GG. GG, well played, impressive play there. High momentum play by Classic. With that, he'll advance on to the next round, and we have plenty more quarterfinal matches to go. Let's go. Up next, we're going to be jumping into a ZVT. Up next is going to be a Zerg vs Terran matchup between Solar and ByuN. Let's go. ByuN, aka TOP, going to be jumping in. Game 1 is going to be on Vermeer. Finally, we get to experience some of the Brood War maps instead. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. See, chat, is the Brood War battery different from the SC2 one? Yes. The batteries are different. In general, a lot of the stats, a lot of the buildings, a lot of units are, I mean, they're the same when it comes to, they're similar in look, in visual look, but for the most part, there are different values, of course, added to them. In terms of the shield battery, in terms of the cannon, for example. When it comes to build time, when it comes to effectiveness, I will say that especially when it comes to the shield battery, it has to be adjusted just because there's no NG overcharge, right? There's no NG overcharge for the Brood War Protoss. But here we go, we're jumping into our fresh best of 3, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Vermeer, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the Brood War Terran player, we have the South Korean Terran. It is ByuN, aka TOP. Going for the proxy. Let's go. We have our proxy very quickly here. Let's see if I can open up my Google Translate. Solar's usually very talkative. Very talkative. Oh, okay. So it looks like Solar, he was asking about I think the center hats. I think he was like what is this? What's going on? There we go. But here we go, we have the proxies in the center. Going to be proxy 3-Rax Mass Marine out of TOP, out of ByuN. And Solar so far going Hatch Gas Pool standard opener out of our Zerg player. Now we have seen Solar die to proxy 3-Raxes in regular SC2 quite often, actually. Like it does work quite often against Solar, I should say that. A big part of this is going to be recognizing how many Raxes there are coming his way. The SCV so far has been scouted, and the Overlord will actually get eyes on the proxy. Remember, this is a 4-player spawn map. You can see the SCV scout towards top right. The Overlord was spotted, and now TOP ByuN, he's aware of Solar's spawn location. He's aware. The Overlord will get away in time. So it does pull out, does pull away. Solar, he reacts with a Gas Geyser and a Roach Horn. There's a standard response for SC2, just going for one base Roach. We'll see if Solar can save the natural, though. That is the better question. Can he save the natural? Spine Crawler's on the way. Oh, no bunkers with this. Ooh, okay, so no bunker rush. The SCVs are here to tank. They're here to tank. More Marines are building up. Lings are trying to catch reinforcements, but there are too many. Oh my god, all the boys have been pulled. Let's pull all the boys. Let's go. Leaves only 4. Again, the natural will fall, but again, we can afford to lose it. To be honest, like Solar, he can afford to lose the natural. Spine Crawler getting in position. Roaches have to be careful not to be surrounded. You can see the cancellation on the Roach. Yeah, we'll have to cancel these units. Ooh, yep, cancels the Roach. And Solar, can he make his stand? He had to cancel 2 Roaches. There we go, does pull the boys. Spine Crawler putting in a lot of work. Going for the Marines. And so far, Solar handling this well. Oh, but bleeds out a good amount of drones. That's going to be 5 drones going down. Roaches, they do focus on the Marines. They try to at least Ravager morphs in. And Solar holds. Yeah, Solar, he holds. We have more reinforcements coming in. Solar, he has to save his drones, and he does pull away. He does save his workers. Solar with a massive worker lead. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Solar will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Solar. He does take the first game, does take a lead in the series. Again, when it comes to the proxy, when it comes to the cheese, as we did mention, because ByuN pulled the boys, killing the natural was not good enough. Killing the natural base was not good enough. ByuN, he had to go further into the main base. Solar was able to buy enough time, get a spine crawler. I will say that it was a really good decision for Solar, to really smart decision, really risky move as well, to go for the spine crawler. If this was just a regular 3-racks into a CC back at home, into a factory back at home, into a transition, then that spine crawler would have been a waste, to be honest. But no, he got the spine crawler up and running, and ByuN happened to pull all the boys. He happened to commit into a full all-in by pulling all the workers. That meant, oh, the spine crawler was a big factor in that defense. It means that there was a lot of value there, and Solar, he was able to excel because of that. But also giving up on the natural was important, right? Preserving his resources, canceling the roaches, and just making a stand in the main base. GG. GG, well played. So a solid read there by Solar to recognize that most likely ByuN would just completely all in. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2. Going to be loading into Radion. Ooh, okay. I don't think I've casted on this map before. I'm a little bit unfamiliar. Since every time I watch or hear these videos of pros giving their inputs on playing these tournaments about how they don't know about all the unit differences, I'm like, please, there's a wiki. I mean, sure, but like, I don't think, like, for example, Lambo, I don't think he was really I don't think he cared. Like, I don't think he was really concerned with like the intricacies of SC Evo. You can say like, oh, you could have looked it up. It's like, he was having fun. And I think that's how a lot of the pros approach it. At least those that like dip their toes in for the first time. Obviously, those that commit a little bit harder, I think they do, you know, do their due diligence and actually check out the wiki and look up the differences and even look up the meta. But Lambo, he had a very different approach. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. And this morning, in the bottom right-hand corner of Radion, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the SC2 Zerg, leading the series 1-0 for Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brood War Terran player. The Brood War Terran, the second 2 Terran, it is ByuN. Then it was just a quick paycheck. I mean, kind of. Like, I would say that about the first time they play, right? Like, it's one of those things where I would say that Solar probably had the same approach. Hero as well, like Hero, Solar, Classic, right? When they first kind of dip their toes in. But like, if you can hook him in, papi, then they start to care, right? Then they start to care. Like Solar, like he's become a lot more of an active player when it comes to StarCraft Evolution. And if you remember in the video, he even gave Lambo some advice when it comes to StarCraft Evolution as well. Like, I'm sure he's one of those that did look into it and did like research and all that stuff. Like delving into the meta, if not looking to shape the meta as well. Just gotta hook him in, Pat. There we go. For now, we do see Solar going for a very greedy build, going gasless, right? We do have a gasless opener here. It is going to be a hatchery into a pool into a third hatchery. So hyper greed out of Solar. Late gases, late link speed, late tech from our Zerg player. As Overlords do fan out, Solar, he does find a ByuN spawn location. ByuN sees the Overlord as well. They scout each other. Remember, welcome to Radion. It is a 4-player spawn map, and as I mentioned before, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time I'm casting on Radion. I think it's the first time. So 4-player spawn map, we do have our relatively secure natural bases. We do have a massive choke point coming in with the high ground elevation here to help support and defend this location. It is going to be double factory out of ByuN going into most likely massive vulture. Very quickly, the third base option expanding towards your opponent looks really difficult. There is a choke point here. There's a high ground point of elevation. There's a lot of steam vents and side blockers. Interesting positioning here in the center. I don't think there are any ramps. Yeah, there's no points of elevation outside of side blockers. Okay. I bring that up just because, oh, hello, ByuN. He knows where Solar is, by the way. ByuN going for a ninja base. That's the ByuN. Let's go. I mean, this is something you can do on 4-player spawn maps, right? The map is so huge. What are the chances, especially when Solar scouts you early on, that Solar ever checks top left? It's very low chance. So there's a high chance that ByuN gets away with this. This is where ninja bases are more viable, I should say. Meanwhile, Solar, he's going for roaches. This is standard. Because Solar went gasless, because his gases were so late, you typically just skip link speed. You just skip link speed, you get into roaches. You can go back into link speed and link production in the mid game, but initially it is going to be roaches for Solar. Meanwhile, Solar, he doesn't see the floating racks yet. Spider mines on the way, ion thrusters as well, going into massive ultra production. So the vultures are building up. When it comes to this northern base location, interesting. I mean, the 3 bases look pretty secure here, just because there's no way to harass in between the bases. We have a choke point here. This area here is relatively open, but the army should be in position here outside of the natural. Oh, the towers are new. Do you have some Zolnaga towers? Solar, he pokes out. This is a poke. Behind the Solar's droning. So Soldier's poking in. We'll maybe get a vulture. Gets one. Gets one, gets 2 vultures, and we're going to be trading here. I feel like this is a better trade for ByuN. 2 Ravagers for 2 vultures. And catching out the final roach. So again, better trade for the Terran. Meanwhile, Solar again working towards his lair, building up his Roach Ravager. This can turn into Ling main Roach Ravager. Solar, of course, confirms that it is going to be mech. And there's that ninja base we did mention earlier. I get a very low chance of Solar to check this location. As vultures, they dive in. They're going for the mineral line. Gets 1. Gets 1 drone. Gets 1. Gets 2. 2 drones go down. Getting up to 3. I think it's a big factor why EU pros don't get invited though. Thing is, Koreans have a lot more attachment to Brood War than EU. I would disagree with that, because we have had a lot of examples of Korean players playing for the first time that don't know what they're doing. If you remember, ByuN was an example of that. When he first played, I think if you remember, he was ByuN the player that had no idea that he loaded into like an island map. Like Hero's an example of that. Like Hero, when he first played, if you remember when he played in SC in StarCraft Evolution League, he was like, oh, it's my first time playing, and then we looked it up and he played like in the previous Murloc King event, and like he just forgot. Just forgot he had played the mod previously. So I don't think it's region based. I think there are examples of Koreans being the same. Who's another that's coming to mind? I know Creator, he did do his due diligence. I know that. Oh. Yeah, Solar, he is moving out. It's going into... Oh my god, sorry, I was a little bit distracted, but going into Swarm Host. Let's go. We have our Swarm Host building up. Against this more slower form of mech, I mean, Swarm Hosts do make plenty of sense. And we do have an area here where you can just lay siege upon the natural. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Swarm Hosts are going to be ideal. As Roaches to distract. Swarm Hosts, they're waddling in. Minefield, I mean, is spotted. Yeah, Roaches, they just clean up the minefield. Swarm Hosts are moving forward. And what are we going for? The natural, the third. Or even just the main. True, okay, yeah. Going for the production. Deviates over, does find the tanks. And diving on the tanks, getting 1, getting 2, getting into 3 tanks. Up, gonna get that final tank. The boys are being pulled, the tanks are unsieged. And hitting the roaches. Yeah, roaches, they push forward. Piles here on the tank. 1 tank left, down to 0. And with that ByuN, he's broken. He's broken here at the natural. Again, the tanks all did full. There's just nothing left. We got a handful of vultures. Reinforcements stay rally towards the 3rd. Remember, there's no planetary. Oh. Yeah, there's no planetary, no support either. Yo, let's go. We got some wraiths. Wraiths, they tickle ground units, unfortunately. And with that, Solar, he's came to the production. Solar, he's maxed out, breaks into the main. Gets on top of the factories. And with that, GG gets called. Solar, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Solar. He will claim the series here. He will take it to 2-0. And so with that, we'll advance on to the semifinals. Again, ByuN, he did have an interesting approach in the first game. As I mentioned before, it was unfortunate. It feels like maybe Solar's played against that from ByuN before. ByuN can be very cheesy, but for Solar to go for the spine crawler response was very, I mean, again, it just worked out beautifully for Solar to shut down the initial all-in game 1. Here in game 2, we saw Solar making full use of Swarm Host in a way that doesn't really work when it comes to StarCraft 2 Terran anymore. I mean, it kind of does now, but Battle Mech is a big part of StarCraft 2 Terran, which allows the Terran player to actually have some kind of map control, to have some kind of pressure, and to have a more mobile composition. Here, when it comes to Brood War Terran, being stuck with Vulture Tank, it is less mobile, it is more vulnerable to something like a Swarm Host, and there's a higher chance that the Zerg player is able to gain and maintain map control as well. So it takes a little bit longer for the Brood or Terran army to really build up. It's also unfortunate that he didn't scout, right? He was unaware of the Swarm Hosts that were coming his way. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have seen a reaction to that, would have seen maybe even a faster switch into Wraiths to try to focus them down and zone them away. But GG. GG, well played. With that, Solar will claim the series, and with that, we are now heading on over to our final quarterfinals match. Let's go. Up next is going to be a best of 3 between between Skillus and Tasia. Let's go. Let us go. Bearing in mind that if you're maybe watching for the first time and you're like, Tasia, what? It's same. Is it summer, Pap? I mean, it is summer in Australia. True, it is summer. But Tasia, he did return to the game at the start of the year. I say start of the year. Was it March? Like a couple of months in. It was maybe April-ish. Like a couple of months into 2025. Tasia did mark his return. Maybe a little bit later than that. Pre-EWC. But he did start competing again, specifically in StarCraft Evolution. I say that technically he did play in a Tuna Cup. In Sparkling Tuna Cup, he played in War TV Monday. So Tasia, he initially returned for StarCraft Evolution, and then he started playing in StarCraft 2 Open Cups as well. So kind of like he got that bug, he got that itch to scratch. He started competing in other StarCraft 2 Open Cups as well, including our tournaments, which was really fun. But we only have him for a short period of time. From my understanding, he did do his, I want to say he did like his exam to be a public servant, and he's waiting for those results, and he's waiting for that to really go through before he starts his next kind of part of his career and part of his life to be a public servant, and to move on from pro gaming and move on from StarCraft. But until then, he's been enjoying some SC Evo, and he's been looking pretty good. I still do rate ByuN higher than Tasia when it comes to StarCraft Evolution, but maybe I just haven't seen enough of them. Again, we haven't really covered a lot of StarCraft Evolution recently, so my perception of some of the players and their current rankings and their skill is a little bit outdated. So it's kind of hard to say where players currently are amongst themselves. We'll find out. We will find out as we're getting into our TVP with Skillus and Tasia. I mentioned earlier that a lot of the Europeans haven't really dipped their toes too much into Brood War, except for, again, a certain the CIS region. Players like Skillus, Milky Cow, Zardians as well. Who else? Geralt, Spirit, especially at the start of the year. But here we go. We are jumping on in. And game 1 is going to be on Sylphid. think May. Yeah, I think around May, like around that, like the first half of the year. First half of the year. Here we go. As we're getting to our fresh best of 3 this morning on the top side of Sylphid, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Skillus. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the SC2 Terran. It is Tasia. We go. As Sylphid has been around for quite some time when it comes to the SCL map pool. Wait, has Sylphid been around from like almost the beginning? It's been a while. It's been it's been a while. But Sylphid is one of those maps that has kind of stood the test of time in the SCL map pool. I mean, I do enjoy the map, but you know, it's always nice whenever we get some new ports over. Sylphid was like the second map I made. Yeah, it's been around for a long time. Yo, it's gonna be the new Overgrowth, right? It's gonna How long did we have Overgrowth? Like what, 2 years? Jesus. Bring back Paradox. For now though, we're going to be opening up. Skills does find Tasia immediately. Remember, this is a 3-player spawn map, so Tasia is currently unaware of Skills' spawn location, and you can see Tasia scouting. He does scout bottom right, so checking for Skills. Won't find him, eventually will. Polopoid was the first. There you go, there you go. Polopoid. But after the cast, I'll check the map pool for this tournament. Or actually, would you mind letting us know? Do we have an island map in this map pool for SCL 17? Or do we have like a pseudo island map? Do we have the one with rocks instead? I need my island map fix. I need Thank you. I feel like we should have at least one per map pool, right? I would hope so. Is Arkanoid? Is Arkanoid the pseudo island map with like all the rocks? I think I'm thinking of Arkanoid. Maybe another one. There is a no. Smurge, papi, smurge. Not like this. Kion? Oh yeah, I think Kion is the one I was thinking of. Yeah. Is Kion the one with all the rocks? It's like everything's walled off, so you have to break through rocks to break out into the map. Meanwhile, Nicelay in the CC. It is going to be a 2-Rax early Marauder opener here by Tasia. Okay. Marauders have been scouted. Skills knows. Yeah, Skills, he's aware if the concussive shell does finish. And Skills, he will get the hell out of there. He'll lose 1 Zealot, but overall, a pick off or a better trade for Skillus. Ideally, Tasia wanted to catch a Dragoon, but he fails to catch said Dragoon. Thinking of Arkanoid. Okay. Okay, fair enough. So I was thinking of Arkanoid. Yeah, I still remember. Kion is a snowy one. It's a 2-in-1 map, Brood War port. Oh, is Kion the one? Yeah. It's the one where it has like a pocket 3rd and like a pocket 4th. Like it's got some weird terrain. I think yeah, we've cast on Kion before. I think I remember it. Well, hopefully we can cast it at some point in this tournament. Celestial Enclave, Holy Worlds, Karis Passage, Kion, Mothership, Radion, Ruby Rock, Sylphid. 3 mirrors in the pool. Okay. I have some criticisms about the pool that's being used right now, but okay. But I'm also biased. I just want one island map. That's all I want, Pat. That's all I want. Is it balanced? Maybe not, but as skills, it does open up Dragoon going into Reaver drops. This is pretty standard. If you recall, we saw Classic play this very similar style. It is kind of one of the go-tos when it comes to Brutal Protoss. This is one of the criticisms that I have, is that it feels like this is kind of like almost the go-to in every matchup, is going Dragoon Reaver. We have seen some attempted changes and some attempted balance patches to try to make Stargate openers more viable, for example. That is true, and we have seen Stargate openers from time to time. We have also seen some charged and Zealot leg based builds as well. That is also true, but they're a little bit more niche. A little bit more niche. When it comes to Brutal Protoss, like Dragoon Reaver is kind of like their bread and butter, as Skillus does move out. Meanwhile, Tasia is getting into his own Cloak Banshee. Third CC is on the way. Tasia, can he defend though? Can he actually defend that natural? Because here comes the Reaver. Reaver's coming in. With the help of the Reaver, we can try to break through. Boards are being pulled. Reaver's a little bit too far back. Do we have detection? Uh-oh. No observatory. The Banshee has arrived. Cloak is almost done and there's no detection. Wait, what? No, he throws out a bay. That's meant to be an observatory. No. Yeah, the Banshee wreaks havoc, and this one Banshee could end the game. Straight up. We have a cannon on the way. Cloak is going to be activated. More probes are going to be going down. Everything races back home. And we're waiting for the cannon. Oof. We're waiting for the cannon, and I don't think he realizes that's not an observatory. No. Por favor, papi. Thankfully, it was just one Banshee, but here comes the second. 2 Banshees, they can one-shot probes. There we go. Cancels the bay, starts the observatory. Ay, ay, ay. Skillus, he had potential. He had potential to break the natural, but Banshees are pretty good. The invisible flying machine back. Hardware Publishing's been down for 8 months. True, true. It's not wrong, not wrong. Not wrong. As we have our attempted Reaver drop, gets 1 SCV. No, Jesus. As the shuttle does get away. Yo, these elves are so fast. They're zoomy boys, man. Zealot legs are done. And Skills, can he break this position? Tells it to somewhat clump up. Oof. Reaver pulls away. And nice retargeting here with the tank. Gets one of the Reavers. And 1 Reaver goes down. Banshees are still popping up. The Observer finally comes in. But the Banshees, they actually had so much more DPS to this. And Tasia's holding. He will lose control of his third. Tasia, he does hold, he does defend. Skillet has to pull away. No, we're getting into the mid game. Let's go for the first time. Like, I mean, yes, we've had some longer games and some maxed out armies already here tonight, but we haven't really had much of a back and forth. Like, I'm thinking of like the Solar versus Kiwian game, for example, where Solar was able to comfortably max out to get into Swarm Host and Kiwian was stuck at home. We didn't really have that back and forth. Can we get there this time? Can we get there? Tasia has a greater economy. Reaver shots, not getting much done. Guess maybe 1 SCV. There's no storm. No, there's no storm, Pappy. The Templar, get out of here. Looks like another misstep here from Skillus. There we go. Storm just now begins. That should have been done quite some time ago. Forgot the observatory, forgot Storm. Messy game here from Skillus. Messy. Nikita, we gotta tighten up, man. We gotta tighten up. Yeah, it's Banshees 8-9, the expansion. These Banshees, these are the same Banshees from the start of the game, by the way. They're still popping up. We have Hyperflight Rotors on the way. I mean, may as well. Tage, of course, embracing mech. He's got a massive siege line. Nice SimCity as well. Again, this is what you need here against some more mobile Protoss composition. Just wall up with depots, turrets, CCs, planetaries. Tage just fully walling up. Now, at this point, it's really similar to SC2 PvT, where if the Terran player is able to successfully get up to 3 bases and work towards a 4th and turtle up like this, as a Protoss player, you have to make a choice. You have to make a decision. Do you commit and try to max out with a gateway composition, mass expand, and try to break a turtling player, or do you throw down a fleet beacon, a Stargate, and start working towards Sky Toss? Right? Like you got to make a decision here, and more often than not, most players don't want to slow the game down. They don't like slowing the game down and slowly building up to Sky Toss, and they try to brute force the issue, but it is going to be difficult here to achieve. Now, the best that Skills can hope for is to wait for Tasia to expand. Wait for Tasia to expose himself while he takes his 4th base. And that'll be an opening. There'll be an opening once the 4th base is being taken. Speaking of, here comes the 4th. Tasia does go for the northern base, and you can see that as he expands, he unsieged everything, and now this 3rd base is exposed, right? Now there's an opening here at the 3rd. Storm comes in. Yeah, does go for the Storm drop. Does graze the army. Does only graze. Skills, he rotates. Pushing to the center. This is where the tanks are. Yeah, the tanks are set up. Tasia's in position. Again, like this 3rd base is so exposed. But Skills is unaware. He's unaware. Banshees, they hit both fringe bases. More Banshees are being built. No, the Templar. Losing one. Storm doesn't quite connect. Tasia forcing his way in. Skills trying to come in from behind, but the tanks they punish. Oh, yeah, massive tank connections. Dragoons, they just get shut down. And Tasia at this one just bullying Skillus. Does overextend trading with the army, but there's no detection. Banshees, they just get some free damage. Free damage on the Dragoons. Tanks are pushing forward. There's still no detection, by the way. Oh, there we go. Observer now moves in. But the tanks are already pushing forward. They're getting within range. Skillus setting up for a flank, but flanking with Dragoons. Oh no! Yeah, moves forward too soon with the Dragoons. Dragoons go down. Stealth able to break through. They're trying to at least. But these are expensive losses here for Skillus. Losing so many Dragoons. Then again, the economy is lackluster. No mining center left. Does have center right at least. But we lose a Nexus. Lose an expansion. They'll say force a bit of friendly fire. Again, Tasia has done it. Nexus goes down. And GG gets caught. GG gets caught as, again, Skillous, he had bled out so much there throughout the course of the game. Really unfortunate as Skillous, there were some key moments where he threw down the Bay instead of the Observatory, so late detection. He threw down the Temple Archives but forgot about Storm, so didn't have Storm available. A couple of key moments there, and with that, Tasia was able to secure himself and snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played, Tasia, to take a lead in the series. And we'll see if he can extend that lead or if Skillous can bounce back coming to game 2. Let's go. Coming into game number 2. Oh. As a reminder, it's going to be on Skillous to determine does he want to play StarCraft 2 or Brood War. Most likely switching to StarCraft 2. Go. Yes, it's going to be SSG Terran, sorry, SSG Protoss versus Brood War Terran. Game 2 is going to be on Vermeer. It is going to be a Brood War 4-player spawn map. Let's go. But yeah, it's a shame that publishing still is unavailable, so of course that is limiting any new maps to be made. But here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Team Liquid down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is a Skillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the teal Terran player. We have the Brood War Terran. It is Tasia. Here we go. Rumors are it'll be back in March. Yeah, I think that's coinciding with what's happening with the Chinese servers? Question mark? Maybe. It's a shame that it's taking so long. It's a shame. But I'd rather believe back soon. TM. Soon. TM. Soon. TM. As we are opening up, once again, it is going to be SC2 Protoss against Brood War Terran. We have Tasia going CC first, and he gets scouted immediately. Does get scouted. So Probe does pull away. It is not uncommon to go CC first here on 4-player small maps. We see it from both Terran players, like Brood War Terran, SC2 Terran. Going for additional Raxes, going for what looks to be an earlier stim timing. So we have a very aggressive follow-up here from Tasia. It's going to be to skills to confirm. Korea server has bled all of its population to the CN server, so many people have left in the arcade scene. Yeah, it's at least I'm familiar with Kerrigan Survival. Like, of course, Starduck. He's one of my many sons. He's like, and apparently a lot of the KS2 players have gotten Chinese accounts to play Kerrigan Survival on the Chinese server. I'm familiar. They had to jump through a lot of hoops to do so, but they got there. As okay, we're popping off from both sides. So we do have the early stim timing. We have the factory on the way. The academy is done, working towards stim. At the same time, though, Skillet's going for a 1-base all-in. We have 4 gates back at home. We have the prism on the way as well. So 4-gate 1-base all-in out of Skillet. The gateways aren't proxied, but he will have the prism to reinforce. And we'll see if Skillet can break that natural. Remember, there's no factory-based units, there's no like defensive tanks or anything like that, but there is a bunker at least here on the low ground. It's going to be a tough hold. We'll see if Tasia can pull off this defense though. Proxy Immortal to support this. Let's go. Stalkers, they do drop in. Immortal gets cancelled. Boys are being pulled, so we can afford the warp in. Warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. Remember, there's no bunker in the main. Yeah, there is no bunker. Stim is halfway done. But Marines, they do trade well. They start to step in. A lot of SCVs are going to be going down, but again, he can afford to lose them. Oh my god. And Tasia holds. Yeah, Tasia, he is holding. 7 SCVs go down. Tasia still ahead in workers, still ahead in economy, and Stim is almost done. And once Stim finishes, I don't know if Skills can really pull this off. Going for a depths? Okay. They can shade in. They can shade in. Marines are holding their own. Perhaps they shade in towards the natural. Trying to pull Tasia apart. Up. Yeah, Tasia just abandons his natural. He cannot defend both locations at once. And he fully walls. Yeah, he fully walls off. I believe losing 1 SCV. Just abandons the low ground. And again, this does feel extreme. It feels like a big loss. But remember, it's 1 base. Like, Skills only has 1 expansion. Tasia doesn't need his natural. He doesn't need it. So very mature decision. Marines, they move down to the bunker. Ooh, what ups they do shade in. The shade gets cancelled. Marines, they trade well against the adepts. That's most adepts going down. Tank is sieged. The tank does siege. Now we have a second tank as well. And now up to 2 tanks. And Skillet commands. Yeah, there's a scan, reveals the expansion as well. Skillet's trying to transition out of this. Remember, Tasia, he saved his command center so he can just float over. Can just float. Nice move by Skillet. Just being annoying. And at this point, Tasia, he has survived, he has defended, he scans, he spots the army. Gonna be zoned away. And Tasia, he just ignores it. Wow, he just sends everything across up. There's nothing at home to defend. There's nothing here. No. There should be a recall at least. A massive gamble here from Tasia. He scans, he stims in. There's no recall at the natural, and there's no recall in the main. No, there's no energy. No energy for a recall. The army's racing back home. Yeah, no recalls available. Probe's going to be going down, and Tasia, he just completely catches Skills with his pants down. The pants are down, Bobby. Every probe goes down. Massive damage. And that's game ending. That's game ending. 25 probe kills at the same time. Skills, he drops into the main base. GG gets called, and Tasia will take the series at 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Tasia, he will claim the series. Again, it was a cheeky build here by Skillet. Unfortunately, Tasia, he was well prepared for it. He had the safety bunker on the low ground. His Marines already in the main base. The initial prism harass did 0 damage. Really, I mean, I say that. He killed 7 SCVs, but that was not enough to really stabilize or get ahead. And again, a really mature decision for Tasia to give up on the natural, right? If he had tried to spread himself thin and tried to defend both bases, then most likely Skillet would have torn him apart. But Tasia, he just gave up on the natural. He recognized, hey, I don't need this. You're on 1 base. I can just lift. I can just evacuate and focus on my main base defense instead. GG well played. And of course, it was a big gamble to just rally and send everything right down mid across the map. And Skills, he missed the move out. He missed the move out. There was no NG for recalls back home. The Nexuses, they were busy chrono boosting, so no NG, no recall. GG well played. And with that, we have our semi-finalists. Let's go. We have our semi-finalists here. Coming into the top 4, we have a Solar versus Tasia in a ZVT, and we have Classic versus ByuN in a PVT. Oh boy, we have our semi-finals. Not just that, but the semi-finals are also best of 5s. Bear that in mind. These are going to be best of 5s moving forward, and a best of 5 finals as well. So we're going to be going on a short break. I see in the chat someone asking, is this the StarCraft 1 mod? I'm clueless. This is StarCraft Evolution. This is StarCraft 1. Also, this is Brood War versus StarCraft 2. Brood War versus StarCraft 2. So it is a unique mod that does kind of pit together these two different races or two different versions of the game against each other. Remember, this is not a kind of like carbon copy of Brood War into StarCraft 2. The units have been balanced, patched, and adjusted to be more balanced against StarCraft 2. So changes have been made for balance purposes, of course. And the mod is actively patched. For now, though, we are going to be going on a short break. Here. When we return, we will have the semi-finals. We'll have the semis ready for you. Again, it's going to be Solar versus Tasia and Classic versus ByuN. We'll see you guys soon. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes with the semis. See you soon. See you soon, buddy. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the semifinals of the StarCraft Evolution League number 17. This is, of course, a new mod. This is a custom mod here of StarCraft Evolution of pitting Brood War versus SC2. We have the Brood War races, we have the SC2 races. They are pitted against each other for our entertainment, of course. And we have our top four. We have our top four players. We have Solar versus Tasia alongside Classic versus ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. Tasia looking to have a strong performance against Skillist earlier, but we'll see how he compares to Solar, who has also been delving deeper and deeper into SC Evo as of late. Again, especially during the off-season, we have seen a lot more players delve into and embrace this mod that much more, just because there's less emphasis on StarCraft 2, just because we're in the off-season, just because we are in the holidays, and we'll see how they compare to each other. Coming into this, I do favor Solar, but I do know and I do recognize that Tasia has been looking very in form as of late as well. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Jumping to game 1. Fala galera, baby, fala galera. Bom dia, Kappa. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we do have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran. It is Tasia. Here we go, and bearing in mind this is a best of five semifinals match. We're loading into the first game here. Ruby Rock is one of the more standard SC2 ladder maps, a shorter rush distance by ground, and Tasia opens up with a very unique position for the racks. Let's go. We drive our racks a little bit further out, bearing in mind that the rush distance by ground on this map is very short to begin with, and we're going to be opening up at 2 racks Marine rush here by Tasia, and we'll see if he does send his SCVs for bunkers alongside this. We'll see how committed Tasia plans on being. So Tasia's being hyper aggressive. We do see Solar moving out with the Overlord, and Solar, he should be able to confirm the opener. I'm curious to see if Solar will see both Raxes. He'll see one, but will he see the other? Based on the rally, it's a little bit hard to tell. As it is a standard hatch gas pull out of Solar. And it looks like he will not get eyes on that Rax. Yeah, barely not. Marines are amassing. SCVs are moving in. You see that Tasia is expanding behind this. And does he go for set bunker? SCV getting in position. And no. Okay, pulls away. These Marines, they can catch that first Overlord. There is a pillar nearby. Speaking of, the Overlord does, divert to the pillar. There we go. Bunker is going to be on the way. A little bit more delayed, so a later bunker. Marines have arrived. And we'll see what Tasia can get done. As Tasia, he fails to catch any of the Overlords. Both Overlords get away. This Rax will eventually lift, so Tasia can kill one of the Overlords. And speaking of, actually lifts the other Rax. Okay. Lifts the other. Snipes at least one Overlord. And this bunker will be cancelled. Yeah, there's a cancellation. First Overlord goes down. We have the Academy on the way, working towards Stim. So on the one hand, yes, Tasia hasn't dealt any critical damage yet, but he has heavily supplied blocks. Solar is going for another bunker outside of the third base, and he is going for his earlier Stim timing. So here we go. Stim is on the way. Solar, he has 0 Lings. No, sorry, he has 6. Okay, my apologies. Lings out of position. They're racing back over to defend. But is it too late, especially with the completion of the bunker? That's going to be a cancel. Yeah, massive pick of Solar. He cannot defend. He cannot fight this. Third base is canceled. And Solar, he's stuck on 2 bases. Yeah, I think speed does kick in. Solar trying to chase him down. Marines, they get some extra hits in, and I believe the Marines, they will be cleaned up. They are cleaned up. Back at home, we have the fire bat to defend. Let's go. We have the fire bat, baby. Tasia moves out with a second push. Again, the goal here should be to try to camp the third, as Tasia does have momentum. Oh, the wall! The wall's open. I don't think that was intentional. Yeah, not intentional. Lings, they do flood in. They flood into the natural. SCV is going to be going down. At the same time, Tasia does hit the third. But Lings, they even get into the main. And they head towards the main base. They do pick up a couple of extra SCVs. Lings, they do engage, Queens as well, and Solar he holds. Solar defends, Solar attacks, and Solar is recovering. Solar had a very rough start, by the way, losing his third base. But this move out was not worth of a Tasia, as he lost his army and his economy. And now he fully walls off. Again, he just didn't realize. He didn't realize there was an opening here. So now we finally have a full wall. Everyone's forgetful today. It's like Skills forgot Storm earlier. Tasia forgot the wall. Or at least didn't realize. Behind this, working towards Siege. So Siege mode is on the way. Tasia going for... I was going to say we can go into a mech transition from here. He already has a second factory. See eggnog. Oh no. Ah no. Fun fact, I've never actually had eggnog before. Like, I guess it's because here Christmas is in summer, so like no shot you'd necessarily get like beverages like that. It's not really a thing here in Australia. I don't know what I'm missing out on. But yes. Oh no. It's the Christmas spirit, Pappy. It's and Solar behind this is going into Ling Main Hydra. So a standard unit composition here, just Ling Main Hydra out of Solar. Tasia, Spider-Mines is still not yet done. 10 more seconds. Tasia rotates. Setting up his mines. Speaking of, jeez, two of them get baited out. Baits out the mines. Solar rushing to Hive Tech, and we'll see if Tasia can achieve any damage here. Again, he's heavily reliant on the Spider Mines. Bailings, they catch a medic. Let's go, we're taking off. We are making that full switch into mech, by the way. So it's bio opener into mech. We have ion thrusters, we have the science vessel. Oh, sorry, the science facility in production for the science vessel. Lings, they confirm the mass vulture. And from here, Solar has a couple of tech options. With the high finishing, he can go straight to ultras. Ooh, oh, go, no! He has no splits. Bio army goes down. Solar, he's gaining map control. So for me, we're going to ultras, or we can take into lurkers. So ultras, they do catch the hydras. Nice pickups here. Yeah, no link support. Hydra's going down. Nice fight. Oh, nice fight from Tasia. Meanwhile, the Spider-Mine pops up, shuts down the Bailings. Solar, he's in trouble. Solar losing too much too quickly. Spider-Mines, they're popping up. Ooh, oh my god. That's spider mines, papi. Solar, calm down. Be careful. There we go. The Overseer now moves in. We have the Overseer. We have detection. He's just trying to force the issue. I was curious what was going to be done with the Hive, but so far we have a Spire on the way. No Hive tech yet. As Hydras are exposed, they trade decently against the Vultures. That's a lot of Hydras going down. As there go Lings, they flood in, they get on top of the tanks. This time there's no Spider Mines. And the tank count will be reset. There we go, much better engage for Solar. Cleans up the army. Moves out for the counterattack. Back at home, there's one tank left. Tasia, he lost too much. And where are the Spider Mines? There are none. Oof. Bailey's they smash in. The Lings are trickling on in as well, getting on top of the tanks. And barely once again the tank gun is reset. Losing every tank. Solar, he's so close to breaking Tasia. He's so close. Casito. As Tasia does not have a radiate. There we go, base out all the spider mines. Now Solar can rally. Can rally back. Ooh. And he is. You can see Tasia slowly rebuilding his tank out, but another tank goes down. And still barely out of range. Now with the Ling reinforcements diving on the final tanks. And this time Solar should break through. There we go. GG gets called. Solar breaks through and Solar takes game at number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar does take a lead in the series. Again, Tasia did have an interesting start to the game, and he had some momentum killing the third base, and canceling the third base, I should say. But unfortunately, when it came to the follow-up, the wall was open. And remember, it wasn't intentional, but the wall was open. The Lings, they were able to flood in. They were able to distract Tasia, get some economic damage, and Tasia was unable to really find any additional damage at the new third base of Solar. He lost his bio, he lost his medics, and with that, he lost his momentum, he lost map control, and Solar was able to stabilize from there. There were still some key moments for Tasia, but it wasn't quite enough to recover and to really regain control of the game. GG. GG, well played. With that, Solar takes the lead, and we'll see if he can extend that lead or if Tasia can fight back as we load into Vermeer. Let's go. We're loading into a 4-player spawn map, and it is Tasia's race of choice. Where are we headed? Where are we dropping? Meanwhile, a big shout out to Agnes de Cruz in the chat. Papi guy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 9 months. 9 months of support. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Do appreciate the support as we are getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Vermeer. We have the now StarCraft 2 Terran player, the SC2 Terran, the Teal Terran down in the series, but we'll see if he can bounce back and tie things up. It is Tasia. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg for Team Falcons. It is Solar. We go. Again, welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is a 4-player spawn map. Solar, he is aware that Tasia is either bottom left or bottom right. Meanwhile, Tasia is aware that Solar is either likewise top right or bottom right as well. So both players are aware that there is no one spawning in at top left. For those that are curious, the way that this works in StarCraft Evolution, 4-player spawn maps specifically, is that when you spawn in, 2 locations are pinged and 1 is not. So immediately one possible spawn location is eliminated from the possibilities of where your opponent has spawned into. It is a way to help balance and help reduce some of the RNG of 4-player spawn maps. Honestly, I do really like it. I do really think it's a nice compromise. It's a nice way to kind of help out when it comes to scouting and early rushes. A nice solution to that problem. And I'm hoping that one day that could be incorporated into StarCraft 2 if we ever do get 4+4 maps returned to StarCraft 2. One day, one day. Wings of Liberty Protoss music. Ah, let's go. Yeah, that's the other fun thing. Like there are these nice little like quality of life, or I don't know if I want to say quality of life, but there are these nice little like changes to SEVO which are really nice that I wish were implemented to StarCraft 2. One of them being the pings to possible spawn locations, but the other is the soundtrack, right? For those that are curious, in StarCraft Evolution, more soundtracks and more music tracks have been added to the game that are already in the game, to be fair, but they are periodically played while competing. They have an expanded soundtrack. And it's nice. Both players get the same non-option location, or can it be random? I mean, it's random in the sense that they can see others, but like they still confirm that there's one location where their opponent is not. Where do we go? Ling's sorry, I was so distracted. Was this just CC first? Hold on, I need to. Hold on. Hold on. I was like, oh yeah, we're just getting into our game. Gas first. So my apologies. It was gas pool into hatchery, so earlier pool timing. This wasn't CC first. Wait, what? Reaper CC. So again, early Lings, early aggression. Reaper moves out. Reaper scouts. Cross map. Overlord spots the Reaper. Solar, he avoid. Yeah, that's good. Sorry, there's so much going on here, and I was just talking about the map itself. But Solar, he spots the Reaper with the Overlord. He avoids the Reaper with the Lings, so cheeky move there by Solar. Tasia then confirms the hatchery is late, so now he knows that it was an early pool timing. And back at home, Marine into add-on into third CC. Oh god, the hyper greed. GG. So hyper greed out of Tasia. Typically there'd be a factory on the way, so you can have Hellion support and Hellions in production, but it was CC plus an add-on, so only one Marine to defend. Lings arrive. GG. Yeah. God damn it. GG. So fast game here. Again, to apologize. I just assumed that we would be getting into something a little bit longer. I'll try to pay more attention to the builds and to the openers of the next game. So I do apologize. But GG. Solar, he does take a 2-0 lead. And again, really smart of Solar to avoid the Reaper Scout with his Lings, thanks to the Overlord, of course. But again, it was a bit of a gamble there from Solar to commit into hyper aggression. Unfortunately, Tasia was being hyper greedy on Vermeer. Didn't get away with it. So now getting into game number 2. I will lock in, Patrick. We'll lock in. Oh, sorry, game 3. As game 3 is going to be on Celestial Enclave. We do see that Solar, he's one game away. One game away from claiming the series. One game away from advancing on to the grand finals. Let's go. Here we go. Solar sitting in his chair like question mark. I mean, again, Tasia, he was being hyper greedy by going for a third CC before factory, and Solar had the earlier gas, earlier Ling speed into more Lings. Like, smurge, might be smurge. But here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons, leading the series 2-0, one game away from claiming it. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the SC2 Terran player. Once again, it is Tasia. We'll know that until the replay. True. To be fair, true. Because Solar, he never saw the main, right? So you're not wrong. Like, what the hell? What happened, Pap? True. This time hatch first. Okay. We're locking in, we're locking in. Yeah, I just assumed that loading into Vermeer we had some time to just chill, but no. Here on Celestial, we do have our hatch first, so standard opener out of Solar. Meanwhile, we do have a standard opener out of Tasia as well. Calming down. Welcome to Celestial Enclave. Celestial Enclave is one of the more macro maps in the map pool. We have a half pocket base here on the right hand side, so you can take this as a 3rd, 4th, or 5th expansion later on down the line. Otherwise, hopefully we can sink our teeth into the game itself, as it is going to be hatch gas pool, this time standard opener out of Solar. Bearing in mind he is playing Brood War Zerg. Meanwhile, Tasia going Marine first. Okay. Does go Marine first, which means he will... I mean, this makes sense on this map. What I mean by that is that your access points to get into the bases, to get into the main, are quite limited. So Reaper Harass is less effective here on Celestial Enclave. You have to go through the natural to get into the main. And Solo does go for a 3rd hatchery incredibly quickly, actually. Okay, and the SCV will scout, will confirm. So Hyper Greed out of Solar. I mean, I say Hyper Greed. It was hatch gas pool into a 3rd base before the pool was even done. Now, what I was going to say is that this means that this delays your queen production, but it's Brood War Zerg. There are no queens anyway, so I guess this is more standard. So it does rush into his 3rd, saturating his bases. So far, so good. Meanwhile, Tasia also going for his 3rd CC on location, going once again 3rd CC before factory after the first racks, but it is more viable in this map because of how safe you are on 3 bases, and also because Tasia scouted. Remember, Tasia, he scouted the greed of Solar, so he knows he's safe to be greedy as well. So this is kind of what I expected out of the last game on Vermeer. We're finally getting it here, but like hyper greed from both players. Lings A move out, we have our Marines to defend. Tasia, he may be forced to lift, but nah, he's fine. He's fine, he deflects. Ooh, we have more Lings on the way. Solar, he's not droning. Solar, okay, there we go. He does make 1 drone here, but he invested quite heavily into 6 extra Lings. That's a big investment. 6 more Lings on the way, but now Solar starts droning up. He has his Eva chamber for his upgrades to get into +1. And I'm not too convinced here by this early Ling aggression. It's a big investment. It does slow down Solar's economy. We'll see if we can find any damage though. Is it worth it? Dips in, pulls away. Denies mining at least. Gets 1 SCV, okay. He gets 1 SCV, no bunker. And he'll force a lift. Yeah, he does force a lift, gets a 2nd SCV. Okay, never mind. This was worth it. Was worth it from Solar. Behind this, Solar's droning. He's taking another base. Again, he was able to feign aggression. Behind this, going into Ling Hydra. Gases are being taken. +1 carry base on the way. So looking good. Looking good. Unfortunately, despite Tasia delaying, and I mean, I say delaying, there's no factory. Like there's 0 factory-based units here. Despite doing so, he didn't play safe and wall up and get a bunker. Again, because of his faster 3rd CC. That's where his money was being spent. So he was unable to defend. So Tasia's greed was punished. And he's building up into an earlier stim timing. And he can go for a ByuN move out. What is the ByuN move out? It's moving out without any medevacs, right? Like we have a mass amount of Marines, +1, a stim. This is going to be a very strong upgrade timing. But has Solar gotten away with too much? Solar, he's got a massive worker lead on 4 bases. Hydra upgrades are amassing. Well, Hydras themselves are amassing. Solar opening up the map. We have 2 more axes on the way before the starport. A 5-rack setup. Finally, the starport's on the way. There's a scan. Gets eyes. Oh. Gets eyes on the would-be lair. I didn't realize that the Hydra upgrades were hatch tech, I'll be honest. I just assumed there was a lair, but no, very, very late lair here. Building up his Ling Hydra. And it looks like Tasia is waiting for the medevacs. Oh. Waiting for the medevacs. Oh, never mind. Stim is done. Okay. Yeah, he's pulling back. He pulls back. So he has time to build up. And at this point, I feel like Solar should be done droning. He droned up to 62. So he spots a move out. And so he spots it. He's getting ready. We have colonies on the way. Site defense. More Ling Hydra. Scan does at least reveal these Lings, but I mean, Solar, he's buying time with this. Pulls away. Ooh, and if Solar can get into Lurker Tech, I mean, Tasia, this timing that he's wanting to hit here, he's missing it. Okay, he's missing the timing. Lings, they do slip in. You can see they drag the army back. They delay the push. Queen's Nest is on the way. And will Solar have enough time to get into Lurkers? As finally, here comes a push. Tasia moves out. As he moves out, Lings, they move in. Back at home, their reinforcements. That's a lot of Hydras. Jesus. That's 33 Hydras, Pat. Ooh, Hydras, they focus on the medevacs. There's no supports. And Hydras, they just start to step in. They start to step in. They clean up all the Marines. Lurker Tech is almost done. The mass Hydra. I love that there's a singular drone in the mix. There we go. He stood out so much because of the hat. The Santa hat. And do we just not even morph in Lurkers? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, the concave is a little bit too great. Tasia does punish. Oh. And now show us the Lunkers. There we go. Not too much resources in the back, but there we go. We have 5 Lurkers morphing in, 6 Lurkers, even 7. 8. 8 Lunkers, papi. Queen's Nest is done. We can get into Queen production. For those in snares, or just take into Hive. And here we go. The Lurkers are complete. Solar forcing his way in. Getting on top of the ramp. The tanks are getting a lot done here on the Hydras. There's a lot of Hydras going down. And remember, Lurker range. The Lurkers don't really have a lot of range to work with. So a very messy fight here from Solar, but it looks like he barely has enough. GG gets called, and Solar will take the 3-0. GG. GG, well played. It was an interesting build here by Tasia. Unfortunately, he wasn't really able to achieve anything with it. Remember, he went into an eBay and +1 before Stim. Like, his upgrades were so fast there for Tasia. Fast +1 into Stim. But he was stuck at home. He was stuck at home partially because of the earlier Ling Flood, which delayed the third base mining, the natural base mining, but also the Ling counterattack knocking down the rocks also bought a lot of time as well, right? A lot of time was bought. Solar, who was looking so comfortable at home, being so greedy, getting up to 4 bases, droning up to 62, taking up into Ling Hydra, delaying his lair, just being as efficient as possible. And again, he was more than prepared for the move out. GG. GG, well played. Again, Tasia, he missed his timing. And Solar was able to snowball out of control. GG, well played with that. Solar, he will advance on to the grand finals, and the question becomes, who will he play? Who will he face in those finals? Up next is going to be a best of 5 TVP. Classic versus ByuN. Let's go. Shout out to Tasia, of course. Tasia did compete, did fight well, did do well to make it to the semifinals, does fall to Solar, but no shame in that. No shame in going down to Solar whatsoever. As we're getting ready for our next best of 5, going to be loading into Celestial Enclave once again. Here we go. Here we go. Imagine if he had 3 total tanks. Yeah, unfortunately, the build didn't really allow for that, just because if you remember, he went up to, was it 5 Raxes? No, it was 5 Raxes before the starport. But again, like, he was heavily marine focused, and he did delay his factory production quite heavily because of how much bio he was building up. And as you mentioned, like, he kind of missed his timing, right? Like the bio army didn't really achieve what he was hoping for, just because it was so late. But very quickly, big conversation. Whipping out my Google Translate. What are we saying? Classic is saying no 3-racks. No 3-racks. And ByuN's like, you're a kid. You have no confidence, man. You have no confidence. Oh, no, sorry. Classic said he has no confidence. And we're proxying. Spawning in the bullet head corner of Celestial Enclave, we have the Brood War Terran player. That's the Teal Terran for Shopify Pro, going for the proxy in the natural base in the pocket of Classic. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the StarCraft 2 Protoss player for Virtus Pro. He has no idea what's going on. He asked ByuN not to 3-racks, and technically there's no 3-racks, there's only 2. It is Classic. Let's go. Let us go. Classic going for his own gate expand. Again, Classic pleading ByuN. He's like, Papi, I have no confidence. Stop 3-racksing me. And he's like, okay, sure, let's go. I won't 3-racks you. Kappa. Bunker is on the way. Marines are amassing. Classic, he sees. He does see the bunker. He barely does spot the bunker. Classic, he knows. There's a question mark. The question marks are being thrown down. The boys are being pulled. And can Classic shut this down? There's 1 Marine so far. Ooh, the Marine takes a lot of hits. A bit of miscontrol. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there by ByuN. Now to 2 Marines. Soon to be 3. Soon to be 3 Marines. Ooh. And does get 1 probe. He gets 1 probe so far. Where's the mineral walking? Yes, the probe's going to be forced back. That's 4 probes going down. The bunker does finish. 5 probes falling. And the more boys have been pulled. Yeah, the boys are here to defend. Oh, ByuN is laughing. ByuN is laughing. Oh, the Zealot's going to go down. And ByuN's done it. He's done it. He has broken Classic. The Zealot goes down. All the probes go down. It's like, Papi, I promised. I didn't get a 3rd racks. GG. And ByuN takes game number 1. Ay. GG, well played. ByuN does take a lead in the series, and again, because of the mineral patches to come into the pocket base, you can pull the boys and reinforce in the main base. That is crazy, by the way. And unfortunately, it took a little bit too long for Classic to realize what was going on. Likewise, he was unable to, I say unable to, he could have mineral walked. Remember, he couldn't click on the minerals behind him, but can he click on the minerals past the Marines at the triangular 3rd base? I think that allows them to get a surround, just because if you click on those patches at the triangular 3rd, I believe the workers that try to move past the mineral wall, right, the worker path. So if we had targeted those mineral patches, I believe the probes would have gone through, could have surrounded, and could have dealt with that. But alas, Classic, he was moving his probes, and the Marines were able to body block. Essentially, they were able to body block, able to minimize surface area, and shut it down. GG. So GG, well played. So lacking some worker micro there from Classic, and with that, ByuN takes game 1. Oh, sorry, I will fix the command in the chat. And also very quickly, I do apologize. Sorry, I was engrossed in the game itself. But a big shout out to Debbie Jim in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. As we're getting into game number 2. So just updating the bracket command. Just updating. Classic gotta watch his throne. Solo's coming for it. I mean, Solo has been looking pretty impressive as of late. He's been devoting a lot more time, for sure. But can Classic even make it to the finals, Pappy? Can he even make it? As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Teal Terran player. We have the now StarCraft 2 Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player picking Brood War Protoss, by the way. It is a classic. Hello, ByuN. As the SCV moves in for an eBay block, I would imagine. Yeah, moving in for the block. Moving into delay. No. He hides. There's enough room back here. We're just gonna cheese every game. We're just no. Classic to Z. He does. He scouts. Question mark him. There's the Z. There it is. Does force a cancel. Get out of here. ByuN. Ay ay ay. Get out of here, Pat. SMH my hedge. Classic, like, leave me alone. TT. Hold on. If you're curious, so classic, he said 2 free wins. You have no conscience, you have no morals. And ByuN's like, crying face emoji. Oh, speaking, jeez, ByuN, what's going on? But he's lost his mind. ByuN going for proxies 2 games in a row, and now going for the ninja base. ByuN. Oh no, it's the holiday spirit, papi. It's the Christmas spirit. He's lost his mind. It is the eggnog. It's too much. He can't handle it. Oh no. We're clowning, papi. We're clowning. As Classic is playing standard, going into Dragoons, going into Dragoon range. ByuN behind this going racks expand into a delayed factory. Of course, Classic has no idea. Classic doesn't know. So you and Pig really are the best commentators, Duck. Quack, puppy, quack. CranKy Ducklings is the name of the channel, by the way. I'm light. But thank you. Do appreciate it. So we have casted together, but it's been a couple of years. We casted together back in like 2021, 2022. PAX Australia. At the Penny Arcade Expo, there was a StarCraft 2 tournament in Melbourne. Did cast together. And before that, ANZ chance. But it's been a while. Good friends. But here we go. We're getting into our game, and so far ByuN getting away with what looks to be soon to be a greater economy. We'll see if we can saturate that base. We'll see if we can keep it hidden. Again, trying to rally workers across the map is going to be difficult to achieve without being scouted, as the SCVs are rallying across. Unlike Protoss, we can't just recall to saturate the base. ByuN going for his 3rd CC after the 2nd rack, so this is honestly quite greedy. This is quite greedy here from ByuN, rushing to the 3rd CC. But Classy doesn't know he can punish. He can. Will he? Will he punish? Oh, sorry, I just realized that our in-game... There we go. Just realized that our in-game overlay wasn't showing. We have our casters. It's all good. Dragoons move in. They can just bully the army. No bunker, no tank, no nothing. Marines are just going to go down. And can we force a cancellation? Can we force a cancel on the CC? I think we can. Yeah, the tank is still on the way. The CC taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. There's a cancel. And again, Classic should be feeling pretty good. He doesn't yet know that there's another expansion though. But again, it takes a long time to saturate the space just because you're making one SCV at a time. He's shaking. No, he's scouting. He knows. Yeah, he does move that bottom left. Show us the question mark. Question mark him. Give it to him, Batty. Give it. Yeah. God damn it. He finds the ninja base. If the other's having fun. That's laughing, by the way. Laughing at each other. The Dragoons they dive on the tank goes down. Ooh, nice sort of stepping out of ByuN. Does punish the Dragoons. Takes off 3 Dragoons. But there's so many more here. Yeah, the Marines are being punished. Stim is now finally done, but there's no support for the Marines. Tank will siege. Classic, he has no fear. He goes for it. He goes to the tank. One more volley. Tank goes down. Oh, he gets punished. Losing another 3 Dragoons, 4 Dragoons even. Man, that wasn't quite worth it for Classic. Losing 5 Dragoons in the retreat. Man with gun is pretty good. But we don't really have much behind this. There we go. Another tank has arrived. Classic backs off. Classic getting a 4th expansion. Doesn't even have his 3rd base saturated. Which yeah, we're having fun, man. We're having fun. But this is greed that Classic can get away with. Because ByuN's been losing so much, because he lost so many SCVs, because he lost the base, because he lost so much of his army as well, Classic has the freedom to expand like this. Has that freedom. At least he should. Classic, he spots the move out. ByuN spots Classic. No scan. Fun fact, there's not enough energy for a scan, but ByuN, he's aware of the observer. He just needs a little bit more time for the scan. There, he has it. Here it does have the scan. Observer goes down. Attempts to move out, but again, Classic is in position. Catching out the Marines. And do we pull the boys? Yeah, we pull the boys. 2 base all in out of ByuN. Now, has Classic been too greedy? The 4th base, was it too much? Was it too much, Babby? The boys are here so far. Decent kiting here with the Dragoons. Decent kiting. There's 4 Marines left, down to 3. Nice target firing. Down to 2. Wow, 2 Marines left. The target firing. He avoids the SCVs. The boys, they do nothing. And ByuN, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of army. Speaking of target firing, he once again, oh, almost gets another Marine. Scan is wasted. The observer gets away. Oh, we're coming in for this round. Classic, he wants those tanks. Oh my god. He wants the tanks. Once again, nice target firing. Oh, bleed out 2 Dragoons. 2 Dragoons go down. Classic overextends. But as time goes on, we're building up more gateways. We have Zealots on the way. Zealot legs are done. Classic has to spend his money. The gateways are late. But the shield batteries are done. Oh, trying to force friendly fire. Again, ByuN is just taking so long to get here. Nice tank shots. Nice tank volleys. The boys are being pulled into the tanks. So many probes going down. ByuN, can he do this? Can he pull it off? He kills all the probes. Down to 2 tanks. Ah, the Zealots. Yeah, the Zealots, they get on top of the tanks. It's still so close. Oh my god. Tanks, they barely survive. And I think ByuN might have done it. He might have. It's still so close. There we go. 2 tanks go down. 1 tank left. Classic lost 18 probes. Does have a Reaver. Reaver has arrived. But there's no warping mechanics to this base. Is exposed. Exposed expansion. Classic gets to pull the boys. Coming from behind, getting us up with the final tank. With up with the Reaver. Looks like Classic will hold. He will defend. The probes, they do defend the 3rd. Classic is holding. GG gets called a clutch defense here as Classic. He will fight back, putting a point on the board. GG. Hi, what was that game? GG, well played. Classic, he does fight back. Again, a very chaotic series so far. ByuN proxying 2 games in a row, even going for a ninja base, but didn't get away with it. Now, I had thought that maybe Classic was being too greedy, going for the 4th Nexus. The 4th Nexus did not come into play, but Classic was able to barely hold on. He did an amazing job buying time. Remember, Classic, he was picking off so many Marines as ByuN was trying to get across the map, and likewise, it was able to get the surround as well. Classic had some very, very nice engagements there. Just pulling ByuN apart. GG. GG, well played. It was still quite close towards the end, but Classic did hold. And with that, we have a series. We have a back and forth. Up next, we're loading into Sylphid to determine who will take a lead in the series. Let's go. Let us go. See in chat, why are the Dragoons? If you're unfamiliar with this game mode, this is a mod that has been in production for quite a number of years and has been quite popular for over a year at this point. This is StarCraft Evolution. This is a mod in StarCraft 2 that does, that of course is a competitive mod that gets balanced quite regularly and patched quite regularly, but it does pit together Brood War versus SE2. In that last game, Classic was playing Brood War and ByuN was playing StarCraft 2. But here we go. Here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the now Brood War Terran player. The Brood War Terran player representing Shopper Rebellion being forced into a tied series. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top side, we have the StarCraft 2 Protoss player. The StarCraft 2 Protoss, the red Protoss for Virtus Pro, it is Classic. Can they do Brood War versus Brood War? No. So very quickly here, this mod is balanced for Brood War versus SE2. The mod is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. Just as a heads up. It is the Brood War races are intentionally balanced to play and to compete against the SE2 races, not against each other. There are some tournaments that do allow for Brood War versus Brood War, but that's not the intention of the mod itself. Like, that's not the purpose of the balance patches. So in StarCraft Evolution League, it is only Brood War versus SE2. Here we go. So now we do have CC first out of ByuN. We do see Classic finding ByuN immediately. Now, bearing in mind, welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in top side, left side, or right side, and Classic does find ByuN immediately. ByuN is still unaware as to Classic's spawn location, and ByuN is following it up with, well, it should be a 3-Rax. Yep, 3-Rax Stim. This is a very common build in SC Evo TVP. Going for 3-Rax, going for the Academy, going for a very strong sim timing. There was an era, there was a period earlier this year where this was almost unstoppable and this would very easily win games with stim timings, but this build has been, you know, reduced, has been nerfed over time, is now a little bit weaker, does allow for some counterplay, and now this is an opener coming into the mid game, or at least it should be. Ooh, as the probe does go down, bit of miscontrol there by Classic, and look, ByuN's laughing at him. Oh my god, he's like, mate, what are you doing? Losing your first probe? Bappy, what's going on? I'm telling you, it's the eggnog, Bappy. It's the, we're getting too festive. We're getting too spicy today. But Classic will lose his first probe. ByuN, at least Classic was able to scout though. Remember, he scouted all 3 Raxes. He knows. He knows the stim timing is coming. He's aware of the Raxes. And ByuN is building up his bio. It's building up. It would be cool if they could choose between races and then type. It would be nice. Unfortunately, like, again, that isn't necessarily the purpose of this mod. But there are some tournaments that do allow for that, where they care a little bit less about balance. They just let the players kind of do what they want. Specifically, the Kung Fu Cup tournaments, and I think even Enki's Evo show matches. I think he sometimes has that rule available as well. But now here comes Stim. Remember, as we mentioned, it's 3-Rax early sim timing here by ByuN. He's building up his bio, he's building up his medics. For those who are curious, how do you build a medic? It is behind the Academy when it comes to a tech structure. So we need the Academy, then we can start researching Stim, we can get into medics, we can even get into fire bats. That's more applicable to ZVT, to build up fire bats instead. But this is also, I should also talk about the build a little bit. This is also why this build is so strong, because the 3-Rax variation in StarCraft 2 hits with Mass Marine. In Brood War, it hits with Marine and Medics. You don't need a Starport for Medivacs, right? Your Medic support hits earlier. That's why this build was so strong for so long, because you have Stim and you have the sustain of Medic support as well. So 3-Raxes, they hit stronger in Brood War than in SE2 because of the Medics. But ByuN, he's moving out, and Classic is in position. Remember, Classic has scouted everything at a time. This build has been played out, and so far picks off 1 Marine. Stim is done in 1 second. Stim is ready. Stim's in. Does go for the dive. Shield battery is done. The Sentry's ready for the force field, and Classic is holding. And Classic, does hold on. Behind this, Classic went for a 4-gate? 3-gate. He went 3-gate blink. So very safe play here by Classic. As we mentioned, this build has been played out to the point where Classic scouted, he knew what was coming, and Classic is ready. And the game will continue. Now, what's important is that ByuN doesn't lose the army. ByuN lost, what, 2 Marines? Yeah, 2 Marines went down. So ByuN, he retains his army, he retains his composition. Now he can build up into a later timing, this time with Siege Mode being researched to get into Biotank. So he's able to retain the army, build up towards that mid-game. Looking for the Observer. Classic now taking his 3rd after the defense. Scans the main, spots Storm. Storm is being researched, not Colossus. As ByuN does catch a Stalker. Late reaction at the Classic. As ByuN, he wants another Stalker. Doesn't quite get it. Once again, trying to break out. Something that we didn't get to mention, which honestly hasn't really been applicable. Unfortunately, we haven't really been able to make use too much of the high ground. But side blockers and high ground and not being able to spot your opponents here, points of elevation are even greater here in SE Evo, just like in Brood War. There is a mischance. As the rocks are knocked down, fully walls this area off. ByuN trying to break through. This is buying enough time. Storm will finish. Storm is ready. There are 4 High Templar. Again, ByuN, he's trying to break out. But now we have 5 High Templar. Plenty of storms. ByuN, he scans, he sees. Does see all the storms available. Does pre-split. First storm, pretty good. Oh. And the storm is solid. Marines, they do rush in. And Classic is fine. He's still got 4 more storms. Plenty of storms. As we have a decent tank spread at least. Oh, nice target firing. Again, he's trying to focus on those High Templar with the tanks. He walls off to make sure it doesn't get surrounded. Now we have 1 main attack path, 1 choke point. ByuN is slowly working his way through. Another storm lands. The storm lands. We do have the prison moving out for a flanking storm. ByuN still rallying. Tanks getting caught unsieged. And once again, that's target firing. Storms, they do land. For the Marines, they mainly high back. Does take down 2 tanks. There's still 2 tanks left. Classic was he a little bit too careless with their storms. Oh no, the prison goes down. High Templar is denied. No more storms left. That's the final storm. And ByuN, does he have enough? He does not. Zalse trades so well. It's close. It's getting so close. 3 Stalkers left. The Immortal. The Immortal arrives in time. Snipes one of the tanks. Again, very close, very clutch, but Classic does survive. Takes down one of the final tanks. There's still 1 more behind this. Oof. Does save the tank. Go back in. We barely have an army here, and Classic will chase down that final tank. He gets it. Takes down the tank. Behind this, ByuN just now trying to saturate his 3rd base. Remember, ByuN was borderline 2 base all in with a very late 3rd. That push was meant to end the game. That was meant to end the game, and ByuN fails to kill Classic. Fails to kill him. Now Classic can take a 4th base and stabilize. Classic looking to stabilize. Now, what I will say is that even though ByuN didn't kill Classic, ByuN still traded well. Like, he was able to reset the Stalker count. He reset the High Templar count. Like, this was an expensive defense for Classic. Remember, Classic lost the Prism. So many Templar went down. 8 in total. So expensive losses and expensive defense. ByuN slowly saturating his 3rd base. Classic still working on the 4th. Wait, getting a little bit awkward here. Classic is rotating towards the third base. Meanwhile, ByuN, he does miss the army. They miss each other. Tanks are in position, but they're a little bit further back. Classic moving in. Storm grazes the army. First tank will go down. Now the storm lands. Oh, and that's a cancel. That's a cancel on the fourth base. ByuN, he gets across the map. ByuN, he attacks, and does he defend? Forced to lift. Back at home, there's defensive warp in. And Classic holds, but Classic, he needs a fourth expansion. Classic, he needs to make use of that economy. He's racing home. He's racing back home. Probes are going to be going down. Using 3 probes. Classic rushing back home. Oh, the prism goes down. Not again, but thankfully there was no High Templar in the prism this time. But expensive losses for Classic. ByuN, he has momentum. He breaks out across the map. Classic, he's stuck at home, which means he cannot slow down the push. Classic is out of position. He's out of position. ByuN is moving in. And ByuN is so close to breaking Classic. Now there's a Colossus. Dropship into the main. And ByuN, oof. Once again, trying to focus on those High Templar. There's 4 Templar. There's 4 Storms. The dropship was dealt with. Classic is going for it. Yeah, he goes to the dive, gets one of the tanks. Yeah, tanks are exposed. The army's a little bit far back, and tanks are going down one after the other. Down to 3 High Templar. Still has Storms. And he's up to 3 Colossus as well. Jesus. It's a lot of Colossi. Just trying to stay out of range of the tanks. Yo, ByuN, calm down. Jesus. ByuN killed his own medic. ByuN. As Classic still desperately trying to expand. Does find a group of ByuN. We'll lock this down. At the same time, ByuN rotates, just ensuring that there's no expansion. Classic, he just wants a 4th base. Speaking of, ByuN getting his own 4th. Okay, his own 4th expansion. Classic trying to break out. Ooh, running into tanks. Oof. Losing 3 zealots. Oh no! Yeah, just awkward pathing here. The terrain working against Classic. Classic has built up a critical massive army. He gets spotted by the scan. ByuN getting in position to protect his tanks. Nice movement by ByuN. Nice pre-split as well. Yeah, Storms, they're lackluster. There's 2 Storms left. Trying to go for the rocks. Actually, he just avoids the tanks. Okay, Classic just goes straight for the 3rd. Straight into the 3rd base, into the mineral line. Tanks, they're out of position. Yeah, ByuN caught with his pants down at the same time, though. He gets into the mineral line. 18 probes. 18 probe kills. Yes, Classic, he takes down the 3rd base, but he will lose his own. Trying to get on top of the factory, but Classic, he's just not gaining enough ground here. He's overextending. The Colossus are within range of the tanks. Ooh, Colossus goes down. And Classic, I mean, his army here still has a lot of potential. But ByuN taking his 4th base. ByuN, he just goes straight for the 3rd. The new 3rd base of Classic, it's going to go down. Classic again out of position. He's trying to recall back home. Oof, that's a kill. Here's a kill. But ByuN, he will lose everything. Uh-oh. Yeah, ByuN, he has no tank support. He will lose all the Marines, the medics as well. And ByuN, he plummets in supply. And Classic, it's go time. It's go time. The tanks are on their own. The tanks are exposed. ByuN threw everything away. And Classic, he can do it. We're getting messy, Pat. We're getting very messy. But Classic is done. He has broken the main army of ByuN. Boys, I think they're here to help support. But it's too late. GG gets called. Classic, he will take the game. He will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Hi, GG. Well played. A very, very active, very aggressive, very chaotic game here on Sylphid. We saw that Classic could just never expand. He could just never get a 4th base. ByuN was able to get a greater economy, and honestly, ByuN was looking quite good there. He was able to trade well, deny bases, get into deny the economy, deny the mining. But we saw that ByuN overextended. He moved out with his entire bio army. He left his tanks back at home, and his army was split in half. He essentially fought with half his army. He lost all the bio, then lost all the tanks towards the end. GG. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, he was called out, and with that, Classic takes a 2-1 lead. Classic is 1 game away from taking the series. On a mass. 1 more game is all he needs. Let's go. Whew. Meanwhile, we'll see if ByuN can force the ace match as we are loading into Radion for game 4. Let's go. Loading into Radion. As Radion is our new 4-player spawn map. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Radion, we have the Brood War Terran player. Interesting, deciding to stick with Brood War here. We have the South Korean Terran player for Shopify. It is ByuN. As he's aware his opponent is either top left or top right. Meanwhile, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Radion, we have our SC2 Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is Classic. Meanwhile, Classic is aware that ByuN is either bottom left or bottom right. So the way this works here, welcome to Radion. This is a 4-player spawn map, and specifically on 4-player spawn maps in StarCraft Evolution, you can see here on the minimap, you can see that ByuN has 2 pings letting him know that Classic is in either one of these spawn locations. 1 location is eliminated as a possibility here. Same for Classic. Classic is aware of 2 possible spawn locations. The location is eliminated as well. So it's a way to reduce some of the RNG. Hello, Classic. Classic checking for the proxy location. I mean, makes sense, as ByuN is proxied twice in this series. True. So, does make sense. Yo, shout to SC Evo. Let's go. As Classic is going for the diagonal scout first. He's going bottom right. Meanwhile, ByuN does go CC first. CC first into a 2-Rax follow-up, most likely into a 3rd Rax as well. Very greedy build here by ByuN. Again, there's less of a chance that you're up against like a cheese or a proxy, so ByuN is cutting corners, is being greedy. Classic, meanwhile, scouts bottom right and is still looking for ByuN. And we'll find him. Meanwhile, there's that 3rd Rax. So once again, 3-Rax sim timing out of ByuN. The same build as last game, except this time it is a little bit greedier because of the faster natural. Catching up in the chat. It's a great match. GG's, no Vikings. Remember, the Vikings don't exist for ByuN. In the last game, ByuN was playing Brood War Terran. He's playing Brood War Terran here as well. The Vikings are non-existent. ByuN has got Wraiths. He's got Valkyries. Neither of which I would want to see against Colossus. They're not really meant for that kind of situation. Constant pressure. Exclamation mark Bud. Oh, exclamation mark SE Evo in the chat. Yeah. Avex, he's got the command. He's got it. I think we have a command for the wiki as well. It's like SE Evo Wiki or something. I don't know. That we have a command for that as well somewhere. Meanwhile, ByuN hiding his Marines, trying to catch the first Stalker. Cheeky move here by ByuN. Stalker moves in, and ByuN can come in from behind. Remember, there's no blink. So nice trap here, nice catch from ByuN. The Stalker will get maybe one SCV. Yeah, it gets one. And shouldn't get any more than that. And just one SCV. Better trade for ByuN. Stim has begun. Here comes Stim. Here come the medics. ByuN is moving out. Oh, is he talking smack? Is he God damn. ByuN, calm down, baby. Calm down. Let's have a look. I think he said a pun. I would appreciate any translations in the chat. I think ByuN said like torso P, and then Classic's like, what about the Marine? Something along those lines. But I think ByuN said a pun in his first line of commentary, which is why the translation was a little bit weird. But there we go. ByuN, he has arrived. Stim is done in 10 seconds, so 10 seconds away from Stim. Classic attempting to expand. The third base is going to be so difficult to maintain on this map. You can just see how far away the third is. Like, the distance by ground is insane. Like, this area here is so abusable. Jesus. I would say that this is a more secure third, but the Protoss player doesn't want to expand towards the Terran. So this will be very difficult to defend. And I don't know if you noticed, but ByuN, he threw down a bunch of factories. So he goes for a Stim opener into mech. As ByuN stims in and gets a couple of Stalkers. That's what 2 Stalkers going down, and back at home, here come the factories. And a third CC. Oh. And nice punish by Classic. Very nice. Yeah, the army was just being overstimmed. Classic does punish, he breaks out. The bunker is complete though. It's a bunker, plenty of bio. We'll see if ByuN does go for extra factories. Yep, there it is. Ion thrusters going into vultures. So he is trying to make that switch into mech. He's not there yet. But he's making 2 tanks at a time. Siege mode is almost done. And with the help of tanks, this position should be impenetrable, right? Like the high ground here is going to be crazy to defend this choke point. And there's no way to blink into the main outside of this ramp or this cliff face. Or is it being pulled? Observer gets spotted. And yep, here come extra factories. So the Raxes are just being used as overlords. They're just scouting. More factories on the way. And ByuN is secure. As we mentioned, as you can see here, there's no way to blink into the main base from the triangular third. So ByuN, he's very secure here. As he's making it up. You can see he's trying to bait out the Stalkers. Oof. Yeah, massive tank shots. The bait worked. Did bait Classic in. You see ByuN's trying to do it again. So he sets up his tanks and he's trying to lure the Stalkers within tank range. I was like, oh no, my Marines are exposed. Come at me. Oh. Again, Classic doesn't know where the tanks are. For all he knows, they're further back in the main. Behind this Classic going to Colossus production.
SCP good to go, sir.
Going for a 4th base. Okay. Mass expanding. Trying to gain map control. ByuN, he does scan. He spots the Stalkers. Spreading himself a little bit thin. As ByuN attempts to expand. I do think this is a more secure base just because of the choke points. Ooh, but Classic, he's doubling down. Charge is complete. Massive orbit of Zealots, and Classic can break this position. Remember, we have 3 tanks that are too far behind. ByuN is spread thin. These tanks, they're far back. Classic, where are we going? Spider mines are getting ready. Getting ready with the minefield. Zealots, they charge in. They're getting on top of the tanks. Yeah, decent mine connections, but the tanks are exposed and they're gonna go down. Massive pickups, getting 4 tanks. 4 tanks go down. Question. ByuN's like, question mark. What happened, Pat? What happened? Like, Pappy, you're out of position. Out of position. ByuN's like, mate, you were meant to go through the choke point. GG. GG gets called. ClanKy breaks through the siege line, and ClanKy will take the series 3-1. GG. The question mark, Pappy. GG, well played. So ClanKy was able to rotate in time. Again, ByuN's bio army, which was meant to buffer for the tanks, out of position. He was on the top side. He was able to get some spider mines, but clearly needed more time to build up a greater minefield. Not just that, but also SimCity to protect those tanks, right? The tanks, they were exposed, they were left out in the open, and they were the first to go down. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Classic for claiming the series. Again, a very intense back and forth here. We saw a lot of variety from our players as well, and some nonsense, with ByuN going for some non-stop cheeses and proxies and ninja bases. Classic playing more standard, is what I will say. A lot more standard, a lot more straight up. And in the end, Classic comes out on top. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we have our finals. We have our grand finals. Solo took down Tasia, Classic took down ByuN, and we have a ZVP between Classic and Solar. Un momento. Against Solar, he is a bit of a newer face to SC Evo. All these other players have months of experience over Solar, but Solar in recent times has been devoting a little bit of time to practicing, to improving, to playing. It does feel like he has gotten he has got an interest in SC Evo, and he's one of the latest players to kind of jump onto SC Evo. Again, Classic, ByuN, a lot of these others have been playing it since almost the start of the year. Solo's a little bit newer, but looking good nonetheless. Still looking good. Just catching up in the chat. I see in the chat, if he's playing StarCraft Terran, does he get 12 unit control groups too? No. I mentioned this before, but I guess I should mention this for the people that are maybe just tuning in for the first time. This is StarCraft Evolution. This is a mod between Brood War and SE2, but this is not a carbon copy of Brood War ported to SE2. It is specifically changed, updated, patched, and balanced to be more, fairly balanced with SE2. So there are certain changes like control groups, like the AI, of course. Like, it isn't meant to be like a carbon copy of Brood War with all of its faults. Like, no, it's meant to be it's meant to be inspired, and it's meant to be, I think, inspired, and the core base unit is meant to be Brood War inspired, but still like balanced and patched so it can, be competitive with SE2. Here we go. The spirit, there we go. The spirit of the unit, the spirit of Brood War is in the Brood War race here, if that makes sense. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our final series. The grand finals here. Classic versus Solar. Best of 5 is upon us. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Let's go. Let us go. We have our grand finals. And again, Classic, I would say, is the best player in StarCraft Evolution currently and has experience on Solar. Solar, he's a newer, adoptee of SE Evo, and has been on fire as of late. And we'll see if he can bring Classic down. We'll see if Solar can kind of fill in the shoes that Dark kind of left, right? It's like Dark, he was the best Zerg player in SC Evo, but of course Dark, he went to the military, he retired, he was also the best Korean player, the Korean Zerg player in SE2 as well, and it feels like there's been a bit of a void that has yet to be filled up, and Solar is looking to fill that void. We'll see if he can. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the SE2 Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. It's so hard to translate Korean casual and slang. For sure. It's Google Translate can only go so far. Can only go so far. He said a ByuN? Oh no. Anyone know what day Dark gets back? He left a message on Twitter about that recently. Like he has been laddering, he has been playing. He's still GM, fun fact. I think he hit #1 on the ladder recently. I'm referring to Dark. But I think he's still like 6 months. No, is it 10 months? He specified like a couple of weeks ago. Hold on, because I think he was counting down to when his military service would finish. Yeah, 10 months. There we go. So for those that aren't aware, Dark, he said, hello everyone, long time no see. I'm here with news that I only have around 10 months left on my military service. 10 months will fly by. I really look forward to meeting you all again soon. So, do recommend checking it out. But Dark did leave a message recently about that. I'll leave it in the YouTube and Twitch chat. So I just noticed the Santa hats. Yes, yes. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We have the Santa hats. Ah, beautiful. For now, though, it was hatch first. It was a hatch gas pool into a faster macro hatch and a third base. Very quickly touching on what we're seeing here, this is relatively standard. The reasoning for this is because in Brood War, you have no queens, or queen is a very different unit. You have no injections, right? You have no injections. So getting to a higher hatchery count earlier is normal to keep up with the production of your opponent. So macro hatcheries are standard, and faster bases are more standard here as well. Meanwhile, you see the Hydroden. The Hydroden is hatch tech. In Brood War, it is hatch tech, not lair tech, so you can rush into Hydras early. You can see that Solar is skipping link speed. So he skips link speed, rushing into 2-base Hydra instead. Now, the reasoning why Hydra's a hatch tech is because there's no roach warrant. Remember, there's no roaches, so because of that, the Hydra in Brood War has to fill the role of the roach and of the Hydra in SE2. As a result, I would say that the Brood War Hydra is weaker, but it's also like more massable and cheaper as well. As it gets in, the 3 drones go down. Jesus. Getting 3, 4 drone kills. Very nice start for Classic, by the way. 4 drones, 1 adept. That is crazy damage. So nice start for Classic. Classic behind this going into a blink-based opener. Interesting. Going into 4-gate blink. That's a lot of gateways. So 4-gate blink stalker, a hyper-aggressive build here by Classic. We'll have extra warpins, extra stalkers. Meanwhile, Solar is building up his Hydra count. Solar, he's moving out. Behind this, we'll see if Solar is droning. He's making 1 worker, but this is very committed here on 2 bases. Basically a 2-base all-in out of Solar. Yeah, he's not droning. Yeah, you can see here more Hydras, more Hydras. So 2-base all-in, Solar, he's rushing across the map. He's looking to end the game. But remember, Classy is going for his own aggressive build with his own Mass Stalker. Blink is almost done. Shield batteries in position, already picking off 1 Hydra. Gets 1 so far, but there are more Hydras that came from. Again, Solar is completely all in, but he'll lose another Hydra. That's 2 Hydras going down. Losing up to 3. Losing 3, 4 Hydra kills, gets 1 Stalker. Gets 1, picks up the Cybercore. Very nice. Cybercore gets picked up. It's being rebuilt as we speak. Oh, gets another Stalker. So far, 2 Stalkers to 7 Hydras. 8 Hydras going down. As we mentioned before, again, like the Hydras, they are weaker here in Brood War, but they're cheaper. So we have Mass Hydra trying to break through. Oof, that's a lot of Hydras getting picked off. And Classic, it feels like he's holding here. Cybercore has been rebuilt. Immortals are on the way. Oh, Classic is supply blocked. Uh-oh. Yeah, massive supply block. Classic, not like this. He's now finishing up those pylons. You have to throw down 4 pylons. Slows down his production. Stalkers are getting picked off. And Solar, over time, will he slowly break his opponents? He might be able to. Yeah, so many Stalkers are going down. It's too much. It's too much. Too many losses. Solar's doing it. Classic is getting desperate. The void's being pulled. Desperation here at the Classic. Initially, the defense was fine, but the supply block did slow him down, losing the Cyber Core as well. And Solar, he overwhelms. He overwhelms, takes out the Immortal, the Stalkers, the boys. GG gets don't like this. Crying face emoji. GG gets called, and Solar, he will overwhelm. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar takes the lead in the series. Again, Classic, the supply block was brutal, but not just that. Classic also losing that Cyber Core was less than ideal, so he was stuck, making slow lots here to warp in. Again, there was a period in time where he couldn't make anything. GG. GG, well played. With that, Solar takes a lead. And now we're getting into game 2. Now, as a reminder, it's loser's pick. What does that mean? The loser will pick, do we play SE2 or Brood War? So it's up to Classic. It is up to Classic. And what is he going to go for? Oh, okay. Classic switching things up and going into Brood War Protoss. Okay. So we have a role reversal. Loading into game 2. Here we go. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Brood War hatchery has a faster spawn rate of larva, if I'm not mistaken. But I do recommend checking out the wiki. There is an SC Evo wiki that does have all the details as to the buildings, as to the units. But here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Celestial Enclave. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, now the Brood War Protoss, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. Representing Virtus Pro, it is a Classic. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the SC2 Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. That's their fancy candles. Ah, they're so fancy. Do you need this? Why would Dragoon be better than the Stalker? The Dragoon is different from the Stalker. The Dragoon has more range, and is also tankier as well. We're going for the Cannon Rush. He's crazy. Let's go. We're going for the Forge. We're going for the Cannon Rush. Este Classic. Okay. Vámonos, the probe is going to be coming in. Solar, he does have the Overlord in position to scout. The Overlord is in position. Pylons are being thrown down. And Solar, he does pull the boys. Boys are being pulled. Classic is setting up. And he does fully wall. He fully walls off this area. Cannons are going to be getting up and running. Again, Solar, he barely pulled any boys. And Solar, does he cancel to try to hold on to this position? Here come the cannons. Cannons are on the way. Yeah, there it is. There's a cancellation. Solar stuck on one base. And taking the pocket expansion instead. Okay. So behind this, we just macro. We just transition. Classic is going for his Forge into Gateway into Nexus. He has successfully denied the natural base, and now Solar's production and economy is stifled. It is going to be heavily stifled here. So nice start at a Classic. He got what he wanted, and what did it cost him? It cost him one pylon, one cannon, and a bunch of cancellations. 75 minerals. 75 minerals. That's all he lost, alongside the pylon and cannon. From here, now he's building up a faster Nexus here for Classic. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Dark Searcher in the chat. Gah, baby, gah. That's the Dark Searcher. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 2 months. For 2 months. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. The StarCraft Evo, even. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peppy. Thank you. Just resubscribe for 2 months. You're fire. Love the casting. Please keep it coming. Always, Pappy. Always. We have been taking it a little bit easy recently. Like, typically, we cast like every day and often twice a day every day. But here in December, we've been taking it easy. One cast a day sort of thing. We still cast on a daily basis, but we've been just slowing things down a little bit. Enjoying the holidays. Ooh, 2-base lair. Hello, Solar. 2 gases are being taken. Link speed is still being researched, but this does feel like one of two things. Either we're going into 2-base meta, or technically we could try to all in here by going into a Nidus Worm. Overlord is pulling back. We're being very intentional with this Overlord. Show us what you got. We do have a 3rd queen on the way. He's taking a 3rd gas. The 3rd gas geyser is indicative of a higher tech army. So we're going for the Spire. Drone is in position. Show us what you got. Oh, not 2-base Muta, 2-base Hydra. Okay. Okay. You have my attention. We're going into 2-base Hydra here. We'll see if this leads into an all-in. This is very tech heavy. Very tech heavy. Now, unlike Mutas, this has no harassment potential, so there's no potential for harass, but we could try to go for a big frontal push. Meanwhile, Stargate open out a Classic, hunting down the Overlords. Wizard Scout. Classic setting up for his 3rd. And he's going for the Nidus. Oh, okay. So it is going to be a Nidus all-in, but a Hydra-based Nidus all-in. This is often not seen. Often we see Link Queen all-in instead, just because you need less gas for it. There's no Overlord, sorry, there's an Overseer here on the right-hand side. Hopefully Solar can keep it alive. Remember, there are scouts hunting down Vision, hunting down Overlords. Scouts are looking for the Overseer. So far it's hidden. Going for the pocket base. Pylons, they scout the Overseer. Scouts are across the map. And here comes the Nidus. Uh-oh. Yeah, here comes the Nidus Worm. Solar, he's going for the all-in. And meanwhile, Classic, he's not quite in position. He doesn't really have much of an army here. There's only 1 gate? Yeah, wow. Fleet, he's rushing into the Fleet Beacon. No shot, he's being too greedy. Being far too greedy. He's going for the Fleet Beacon. Only 1 gateway. Barely an army to work with. And the all-in is going to work. Solar diving into the main. He's pushing further in. And Classic, he was going double Stargate. He was going double Stargate Carrier Rush. Ay, ay, ay. Too much greed out of Classic. The Hydras, they shut him down. Solar had no idea, by the way. Like, Solar didn't scout the 2nd Stargate or the Fleet Beacon. He had no idea what's going on. Just went for the all-in, was hoping that Classic would be cutting corners. And GG gets called. Solar, he pops up in the main base, and Solar takes a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Non-stop all-ins here by Solar. Game 1, I will say that Game 1 was very close. Game 1 was a really close, really clutch, and again, the supply blocks were hurting, the denial of the Cybercore was hurting. But here in Game 2, it was Classic having a good start, and being too greedy, being a little bit too greedy. I mean, I say too greedy, he was intentionally hunting the Overlords, but he missed the Overseer, right? Like, if he had seen the Overseer, he probably defends, or there's a higher chance he would defend. There's a higher chance that he would hold on and secure his bases and actually get away with his Sky Toss, with his carrier production. But he missed the Overseer. The scouts were looking. He missed it. Did miss it in the end. And with that, GG, well played. Solar, he's up 2-0. And what kind of all-in will we see for Game 3? Because again, Solar, he's all-in every game so far. And there's a high chance he's going to all-in again. A high chance back. Let's go. As Game 3 is going to be on Mothership. Here we go. We're loading him into Mothership here for the third and potentially final game. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for a little bit more here, but the pressure is on. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Mothership, we have the Brood War Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro. Down in the series, can he bounce back? It is a classic. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, Top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. See, chat, just wondering, did you change your audio settings? It sounds like you're clipping. We're using a voice limiter that's pushed too high. Oh, I do apologize. My audio settings should be normal, but we'll get into it. My audio settings should be normal, but I might just be moving away from the microphone too much. I try to lock it in. I'll lock it in, Pack. I'll lock it in. Yeah, I think that's already better. But here we go. Here we go. We do have our 2-gate opener here by Classic, going 2-gate into a delayed expansion, so a much more aggressive build here, opening up with the early Zealots to apply some pressure early on. So again, 2-gate Mass Zealot here from Classic. Classic scouts bottom left. He will find the Overlord. He will find a Solar spawn location. Remember, this is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, top right, and bottom side as well. We have our different spawn locations. Oh, let's go. Terran theme. But Zealots are moving out. Behind this, we have Solar getting his queens, getting his lings, and we'll see what these Zealots can achieve, if anything. Power walking across the map. Again, Classic choosing to play Brood War Protoss as well over SC2 Protoss. Oh, he's got his like suspenders. Let's get Solar, he's amassing up 8 more lings behind this. Zealots are being zoned away. Remember, we have more Zealots behind this as well. Classic is reinforcing, getting up to 6 Zealots. And Solar, can he catch him out? Can he chase him down? Ooh, Stargate follow-up here at a Classic. Okay. Going for the Stargate. Once again, should be opening up Scouts. Should be. Oh, alongside the Citadel of Adun. Okay, so the Citadel is going to be for Zealot legs. So we're going into speedlots, or yeah, speedlots. No charge for Brood War, just Zealot legs. Meanwhile, once again, 2-base lair out of Solar. He's taking extra gas geysers already. Now, last game, this led into a 2-base Hydra Nida Soul in. This time, do we go into Aspire into meters, or do we go 2-base Hydra again? But hyper aggressive here by Solar, rushing into his tech. The Lings, they gain map control, they zone away the Zealots. Here comes the Scout. And again, in the chat, what's it going to be? So far, only 2 gas geysers. We'll see if he goes for a 3rd. Lair is almost done. The Queen count is low. Yep, there's a 3rd gas geyser. Again, it's going to be a Spire or a Hydra Den. I feel like because of the mass amount of Zealots, it's going to be Hydras, right? Like, I feel like you would just die going into mutas from here. Yeah, there it is. So 2-base Hydra, 2 games in a row. Does he go for the Nida Swarm again? Does he feel the need? There's no Overlord. Yeah, there's no Overlord in position. We have no Overlord here, south side. Zealots are moving out. And Solar is getting a 3rd base. Okay. He's getting his 3rd. He's massing up those Hydras. Again, this time no Nidus. Ah, the sound effects. Oh, gee, we're just getting a repeat of last game, actually. I mean, Classic is getting there in a different way. It's going to be 2-base Hydra out of Solar. Meanwhile, Classic is rushing into 2-base Carrier. This time, Classic does have a ground army. True. Does have Zealot legs. They're speedy boys. Speedlos, they move in. They go for the third. And the third base is going to be denied. That's going to be a cancel. They cancel on the third base. Has control with the Lings. Gets us around. Picks up all the Zealots. And Classic is in trouble. He is in trouble here. Solo is going for the all-in. He's rushing across the map. He's not stopping. And behind this, remember, only 2 gateways. So we can make 2 Zealots at a time. The first carrier is in production. But does Classic have enough time? Does he have enough time to make the first carrier? Now, bearing in mind, the carriers are weaker in Brood War until they get their upgrade. There is a carrier interceptor upgrade, which allows them to carry more. I believe by default, they only have 4, right? I think it's only 4 interceptors. So, like, the carriers this early on, they're not amazing. Even if it pops out, I'm saying that I feel like it's not going to be enough. It's not going to pop out. Yeah, the Hydras have arrived. The Zealots are going down. Solo, he breaks the natural, takes down the scout. GG gets called. We're not going to see a carrier. And Solar, he will take the series 3-0, all-inning every single game. GG. Ay. GG, well played. Solar, he will claim the series 3-0 again. Hyper aggression of Solar, going for a different all-in every single time. Classic, he just wants the macro. He just wants to get a third base up and running. I mean, technically, he just wants to get into Sky Toss. But time and time again, he was punished here. Hyper aggression by Solar does catch him with his pants down. And as I was saying, even if Classic was able to successfully get 1 or even 2 carriers, that still wouldn't be enough. Again, like, the interceptor count is very low for these carriers without the upgrade. I'm pretty sure it's only 4 interceptors, so that can be very easily dealt with by Hydras, especially with a low amount of carriers. So even then, it wouldn't have been enough. It just comes down to Classic blindly going for 2-base carrier when Solo was blindly unscouted going to 2-base Hydra. And to be fair, neither player scouted each other. Like, neither player knew like the tech direction of each other. It's just almost a hard counter by Solar, as he was just going for a 2-base all-in, whereas Classic was blindly going into 2-base carrier. GG, well played. With that, so congratulations to Solar, as he does claim the series, and he's going to be this week's StarCraft Evolution League champion. Congratulations. My condolences to Classic. Classic, he was favored to win this tournament. He gets shut down by Solar, but I still favor Classic. Again, Solar being hyper aggressive, cheesing every game. I would imagine that the next time they play, Classic would be safer in his approach. I would imagine that the meta will kind of shape and evolve between the two of them, and then Classic would be a little bit more safe and defensive with his approach to Solar. Again, with Solar just be doing nothing but all-ins, like, I feel like we should be seeing that adaptation over time. Oh my god. Meanwhile, but thank you so much to Pesevenga in the chat. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Oh my god, thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it, for the 5 gifted subs to the community, and also for the raid from Cian. Cian. Fala galera, papi, fala galera. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast. For those who don't know, Cian, he is a Brazilian caster. He does cast over in Brazilian, in Portuguese. So thank you so much for the raid. We just finished. We just wrapped up, but we appreciate the raid nonetheless. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, just catching up. 1.2 base layer. Yeah, true. Yeah. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just catching up. Greetings, Commander. Greetings, Papi. Greetings. Bienvenidos. Bom dia. But again, we did just wrap up the grand finals of ST Evo. Thank you so much. And also, I did notice that Ragnar did redeem a replay in the chat as well. So I would ask you, Ragnar, to send us the replay via Discord or via email. So I would appreciate the replay. We'll be covering it at a later date, though. I would love to get some breakfast. It's 3 p.m. here. We're just wrapping up. Ideally, we do try to bank up some replays to have a replay cast. But otherwise, we'll be covering it at a later broadcast date, either after Tuning Cup or after the Water TV Monday or after one of the other casts we have coming up towards the end of the year. Speaking of, we can just catch up on our calendar. We can just catch up here. When it comes to our schedule this week, we did have 2 days off. You can see here we have the 23rd and 24th off. That was Tuesday and Wednesday. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, of course. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Feliz. as of course we are nearing the end of the year. As you can see here, we just wrapped up with SCL. That was the Saturday morning cast, and tomorrow we're going to be live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup. That is the monthly finals of November. Sorry, I meant to say December. Monthly finals of December. I believe invites have been sent out, and we have our top 8 players of the month of December. Let's go. So we have our top 8 players for Tuna Cup. They're going to be competing this Sunday, tomorrow, in just over 24 hours. Just over 24 hours time. Otherwise, we're going to be casting the WarDCB Monday on Monday. We do have KSL next weekend, and next week, coming into the new year, we should have a leaner broadcast schedule. Currently, I'm looking at our calendar. We have New Year's Eve off, we have New Year's Day off, and the 2nd of January off as well. So we have a big chunk of time where we should be taking some time off. Technically, I could cast. I could get some replays of like Amantes de StarCraft. I could get some replays of Hatchery Cup. I could get some replays of Waterfall Cup as well. Like, there's a lot of tournaments that are running. I could like scavenge around and get some replays and cast. If we really wanted to, we could cast every day, but it's the holidays. We want to take it easy, want to take some time off, we want to take a break, of course. So intentionally we're holding back. We're holding back from the non-stop casting. We're still going to be live again on the 29th of December. We're going to be live on the 3rd of January. We're still going to be live, of course, but again, there's going to be some extra days off coming into next week. Just as a heads up, of course. I say extra days off from casting. We're still probably going to stream. Like, I might just stream on my personal channel, like some StarCraft ladder sessions or some Final Fantasy. I know we have a CranKy Duckling Divinity Original Sin 2 stream. That's going to be on the 1st of January. It's going to be myself, Kuro, and Yaku. Fun fact, we started playing Divinity Original Sin 2 years ago. I want to say like in 2020. It was a long time ago we started playing, but we never had time to finish it. We just never had time to finish it, just because we've been so busy with casting and our schedules didn't line up. So we made a pact. We're like, you know what, we've been putting it off, let's play this at the end of the year. Let's play at the end of the year, coming into the new year. We'll find some time to play some Divinity. And I guess, fun fact, we had organized this before the Game Awards, before the new Divinity game was even announced. Fun fact, it was before it was even announced. But I guess it's in theme now of what's coming up next year. We just have so little time to play other games. Like, I still haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, for example. Like, that's still on like my bucket list of what to play eventually. Like Expedition 33, Spider-Man 2. Like, there's still a lot of games on the backlog. Final Fantasy 16. We cast too much, baby. It's two things. It's we cast too much, but also I feel the need to like ladder whenever I have free time as well to play. Like, I enjoy StarCraft, I enjoy playing it as well, I enjoy laddering, so I feel the need to like ladder whenever we have some free time. So it's hard finding time to play some single player games, but or some RPGs. But we'll get around to it. We'll get around to it this holiday. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, we should be live tomorrow with some more StarCraft casting with the Sparkling Tuna Cup. So still have more casting ahead of us. Otherwise, hope you had a great time. Hope you have a great end of year and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Feliz Año Nuevo. Feliz Año Nuevo. Just catching up. Just catching up in the chat. Good night. Buenas noches. Time to stock up, man. True. Thanks for casting with Armis. It's all good. Hey, true. Fun fact, if you maybe have been busy with the holidays, or busy with the family, of course, and it makes sense. If you want to tune into some more StarCraft, ! Socials in the chat. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. And if you want some VODs, we have plenty of VODs on YouTube. Again, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. More than Steadfast, more than Wardy, more than anyone else. We have all the content, we have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. So if you want to tune into some VODs, it's all there on YouTube. Again, plenty of content, plenty of VODs. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to support us as well, you can support us via Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. It funds our tournaments on a regular basis. It funds Tuna Cup, it funds Sea Duckling Open and Masters 1 Open as well. You can help us grow our events via Patreon to have a bigger and better prize pool for the players. You can help us out if you wish through Patreon. Otherwise, I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm starving. Otherwise, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm probably gonna stream later on tonight. ! Light in the chat. I do not have personal streams here. Some people are sometimes a little bit confused. It's understandable. The CranKy Ducklings is a team. I'm a co-founder of the team, and we do all the casting here. And early on, we made the decision to leave the CranKy Ducklings purely for like team content, like casting tournaments or talk shows or like team games, for example. Just like we leave it exclusively for a more professional setting. When it comes to like 1v1 ladder and that sort of thing, we leave that to our personal channels instead. So you can check me out here over on Twitch if you wish. I might stream later on tonight. Might stream some StarCraft ladder. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.